You've got the award-winning in-wheel time car talk show coming up. Thomas Gage from Lot Links and AI for dealerships. You'll hear my thoughts on driving the new 2024 Lexus IS 500. Wow, what a car. Mars has the upcoming events calendar, and we got other stuff for you, too. Just ahead on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, howdy along with my God of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on our live Saturday broadcast here on a holiday weekend. We made it through the July 4th day and the fireworks.
Yeah, we have all our fingers.
And toes.
Yeah, all of that. So, anyway, thanks so much for joining us today. I wanted to start off the show with an update on John Force, and if you're not familiar with who John Force is, he is pretty much the face of NHRA drag racing, funny car driver for a long time. So here's the update that came down yesterday. Less than 2 weeks after drag racing champion John Force suffered a traumatic brain injury, or TBI, among other injuries that included a fractured sternum and a right wrist injury following an engine explosion that sent his funny car into a concrete guard wall at over 300 miles an hour. Doctors acknowledged his positive response to treatment. He was moved out of neuro-intensive care and into acute neuro care at the hospital, where he was transported by air ambulance on June 23rd. Latest upgrade was welcomed by Force family members, who have maintained a presence at the hospital since the 16-time NHRA champion's arrival, but medical professionals emphasized once again that the journey ahead will be a long and difficult one. Although Force is still dealing with cognitive and behavioral symptoms from his TBI, the fact that the Hall of Fame driver can converse with medical staff, family members, and John Force Racing president Robert Hight, who flew in this week, is an encouraging sign. However, there have also been periods of confusion, which doctors say require time and patience to treat. Also noteworthy was the fact that the 75-year-old grandfather of five has regained his equilibrium to the point where he's been able to start walking with the assistance of medical staff members. According to family, the next step for the man, whose career has spanned 6 decades, likely will be a move to a long-term facility specializing in TBI and associated symptoms. The time frame for that move has not yet been determined. So there's the latest on John Force, and obviously our thoughts and prayers are with him, his family, and the team members at John Force Racing, and we hope that he gets better fast. But,
what a career.
Yeah, it's been a great career, and hopefully he'll be back amongst us. And I don't know as if his racing career will continue, but I would imagine he will continue to be the president of John Force Racing.
Yeah, and he'll be at the track, I'm sure.
I hope, anyway. All right. Not to be a Debbie Downer here.
No.
And
your name's not Debbie, that's for sure.
Well, that you don't know.
Karen, maybe, but not.
Karen, I think, would be more appropriate.
Have you ever been to Dallas?
That's a loaded question, and I'm not going to answer that.
I don't get it.
Just asking.
I don't get it.
Okay.
One of those old-timer jokes? Is that what it is? Okay.
Old guys.
Thomas Gage serves as the Chief Strategy Officer at Lot Links, where he guides the company's development of AI products that align with dealerships' inventory sales objectives. Through his 25 years in the automotive industry, Gage has become a recognized authority on marketing analytics, attribution, and retail. I don't know what that attribution part of that means, but he'll tell us. Prior to joining Lot Links in 2019, Gage was a key contributor at Cox Automotive for 17 years. He is the co-author of 2 books, Who Sold It?, Understanding How Marketing Channels Influence Sales, and Just Faster, Reimagining Automotive Retail. Well, Thomas, it's good to have you with us, and thank you very much for joining us on this holiday weekend. I hope you had a good 4th.
I still have all my fingers.
Well, and we do too. You know, those days of shooting off fireworks in the backyard with your parents going, honey, I don't think that looks real safe. I think those days are pretty much over for us. Maybe we've become our parents.
Well, it's kind of crazy like that, actually, how overprotective people are today. You know, I'm glad actually to be hanging out with a bunch of old guys and everything else myself, because you all do remember, actually, I grew up on a racetrack as well. And I mean, literally, actually, I spent summers at my grandparents' place. They used to actually have a hotel where like AJ Foyt and everybody else used to go at for Lime Rock. And those guys were crazy. And then we'd get in cars and everything else. And the best part about those cars is you didn't know if you'd actually make it around the track a lot. It's so anyway, I've been in the business a long time. I love hanging out with enthusiasts and everything else. But I played actually multiple areas of our business. One of the more fun stints was getting Auto Trader, converting it from the magazine over into the online version, and those changes in the industry. But I've been working with the companies like Kelley Blue Book, and then also with dealerships really all my life.
Yeah.
And so
Well,
really an aspect.
And I don't know whether you heard me or not, but when we started off the show this morning, I said, it's really interesting that car dealerships these days have got their fingers in lots of pies, and one of them kind of bit them in the butt this week with CDK 2 weeks ago. That whole mess, which is a software program for dealerships that really touches every aspect of the dealership. And then Mr. Mars lines up you to talk about AI products that you help in the sales department.
Well, actually, it's across the board on things. And basically, our company actually has been, for 15 years, has been looking at every vehicle that gets into the marketplace every single day. And we look at actually the supply and demand of what's happening for those vehicles every single day, and what happens when price changes or there's not enough demand on the vehicle. And how does that impact profitability of dealerships? And so the whole game today, the dynamics have greatly changed over the last little bit. And the whole game is actually how do you mitigate risk and improve profitability of vehicles. So what we help dealerships do is figure out that dynamics. It's the world is actually very unbalanced at the moment. Given all the changes in the economy and everything else that's been happening over the last bit. I'll spill into that just a little bit for context.
And let me just throw this in there, because when you talk about basically floor plans for dealerships and cars on the lots, basically, I go back to when I worked at a car dealership, a Chevrolet dealership here in town that no longer exists. But this is back in my high school days. We had that one car on the lot. It was a white Chevy Biscayne 4-door with the air conditioning mounted underneath the dash that nobody wanted. 6-cylinder, 3-speed on the column. It sat there and sat there and sat there. I can't tell you how many batteries I had to replace in that car because, we got somebody coming to test drive it, and they looked at it and said, nope. And do dealerships today still have that one Biscayne sitting on the lot in the back somewhere that they can't get rid of?
They have a lot of them. Let's talk about Stellantis at the moment.
Oh,
right?
God. A 20% drop in the quarter?
Correct. And anyway, my old friend is actually reporting that. We do too. But we talk about like carryover inventory, which is, for us, is, the profitability of cars greatly changes. Used cars, if you get past 30 days, you're losing money. And for a lot of reasons, we'll talk about that. But on the new car side, things don't start to turn unfavorable at 45 days. Well, Stellantis, they're still holding on to, a lot of dealerships around the country are still holding on to 22 model years or 23 model years. And we have actually the 25s just coming out in the marketplace. So if you look at like the dynamics at a dealership, they're paying 8.5% interest. A lot of consumers don't know that the dealer buys the car from the manufacturer. They're paying 8.5% interest on that car at the moment. And, of course, the manufacturer gives them some money up to a point, but at some point they start losing money on it. And it costs the dealerships like $65 a day actually to hold that car. And so you have cars that have been sitting on the lot for over 2 years. So what are those cars? Some of them are, I would say, some of the Grand Cherokees and like the 4xe Jeep models. Certainly a lot of Dodge Challengers are sitting on the lot, big time. And so and here's the manufacturer, they're not offering very good incentives on the vehicles. They promised that actually this month, actually you should start to see like $2,000 type of incentives on these cars. But hey, if you have a car that's $70,000 and you're putting $2,000 on it and everything else, is that going to motivate me and change the industry? Probably not. So they need to deepen their pockets a little bit.
I was going to say, if you got a $70,000 car, what might interest me is a $10,000 knock off the sticker.
Right. That's actually what a lot of dealerships around the country are complaining about.
You're seeing more and more of that, though, on the commercials.
Yeah.
Yes. So, what I'd love to get into is, what's happening economically and everything else. And there's a lot of pundits in the industry saying, hey, we're getting back to normal, right? Well, normal means actually they're just not making as much money as they did over the last 3 years in COVID. So it's kind of interesting watching this dynamic. You have COVID start and all of a sudden a complete shutdown of the industry and the pipelines, the supply chain, and you have 4 million less vehicles being produced in the marketplace. Well, what does that do? Used cars become very scarce, and people are holding on to them. And all of a sudden, the prices start going up. And we had, I had friends actually being called by dealerships saying, you know what? The dealer called me up and wanted to buy my car, and guess what? They're paying more for my used car than when they sold it to me. And so you had this ramp up of used vehicle prices going on. And now we're coming out of COVID, and the supply of used vehicles is still tight, so forth. And so, even though the volume of new cars are up, but what's also happening is interest rates had since July of last year going up, and affordability becomes a major issue.
So tell me, if I don't mean to interrupt, but tell me, if you will, about lot links and what your company does with the dealerships to help move inventory and help really streamline the dealership process.
So what we do is we look at risk. And so we look for unbalances of when vehicles are not getting enough attention by consumers in the marketplace, and we do VIN-specific advertising of those vehicles. So if you went onto websites of like CarGurus or Cars or Auto Trader, probably about 80% of the vehicles that get listed there don't get seen on a daily basis. And so what we do is we recognize actually what vehicles are not being seen, but actually are good vehicles and have.
So that 22 model year Challenger might be a bargain for me, and the dealer would love to get rid of that car and then put it in my hands.
That's right. And so we put demand on that. And this second thing is we actually look at the aspects of pricing of the vehicle and the description and photos of vehicles, and we try to enhance that as well.
So when you put demand on it, does that mean that it's just a local market you're putting the demand on for the local buyers, or is it a nationwide thing and maybe even promote a dealer trade?
No, definitely local. And so unlike a lot of where the AI comes into place is most of these, like if you go to like Google or whatever, and you start searching for that Dodge Challenger, okay, the Hellcat, and you type that in, well, they make money because they, in fact, they make like $3 or so per click to get to that dealer website. And all they care about is, did the person go there? What we do is actually not only make sure that, see that the consumer went to the dealer's website, but did they engage in the website? And so what we do is use AI to have all these different portals like Facebook and hundreds of different websites compete to see actually who at the lowest cost drives the most engagement to a car. And so the AI comes into place by making all these portals like Facebook and Google and Bing all compete against each other, and we drive for the lowest cost within a local market. And because we have do such a broad cast in the marketplace, what we're doing is actually also crossing different demographics. And so we pull in a lot of different buyers than a dealer would normally get by if they just advertised on, say, one single media.
So in other words, when you say that rings a bell to me. The 25-year-old male that's really looking for that Challenger Hellcat, you're going to zero in on him as opposed to some 70-year-old radio talk show host.
Well, it's kind of funny, actually, that we all put each other into the category of it as joyriders. Because what do joyriders do? They look at they'll look at 100 different Porsches just as a sport, and then we have the other type of people like that are the volume buyers, like the Camrys buyers. They just want good transportation very efficiently. They're looking for that Kia and so forth. And so there's different styles of way, cars actually attract their own unique type of audience. And what the machine does is recognizes the joy riding versus actually somebody that's right in the moment of actually buying a car.
In the sweet spot of buying a car, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And by the way, actually, consumers don't, this is an interesting tidbit that you see in the data, is consumers don't actually select a car to buy. What they do is they actually rule out different cars. And you can see that actually online. What they do is they find a bellwether car that has every option and probably actually costs more than what they think that they can afford. And then all of a sudden you start to see them zero in switching between brands, and then they'll zero in on a particular model. And then they say, okay, I'm going to go on Saturday morning, I'm going to go into the dealership and go buy that car. Guess what happens? 65% of the time, actually, they go in the store and they buy something else. Why is that? Dealers actually provide a great service to the consumers. They not only try to actually get a consumer into what is financially, healthy, good for the consumer, but also what features and everything else. As I said, most cars don't get seen on a daily basis. And so when you come in the store and everything else, the dealer's job is also to make sure you get in the right product at the right price and, good financing. So anyway.
Very interesting. So how many, do you have lots of dealers here in the Houston area that buy your service?
Yes, actually, we have great penetration. We have about 5,000 dealerships around the country that we work with.
Very interesting. Yeah. Well, I find that your service.
I find myself.
I'm sorry.
I find myself in College Park, or is it College Station over there quite a bit. Also, a large dealer group downtown Houston. Yeah, I've been in just about every store in the country.
Interesting. Well, we find it your service fascinating, actually. And like I said, I didn't realize that dealerships had all these choices and to help move product, but it sounds to me like you're giving them something that they need and they want. And we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
You bet.
It's very interesting.
Yes, thank you. Thomas Gage, we really appreciate it, and we will talk to you again soon. If you got anything new for us, give us a shout.
You bet.
All right. Time now to take a quick break. And a reminder that you can catch the N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for N-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and nwheeltime.com. And podcasts, yep, they're available from your favorite podcast provider. The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Hey, thanks for joining us on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show on this Saturday as we all prepare for the landfall of the tropical storm, whatever it is.
Something.
Wind and rain.
Burl. Milton Berle.
Burl Ives.
Burl Ives. Anybody else? Burl.
Frank Burl.
Frank Burl.
He was my neighbor.
Is he?
Yeah, he was. He's a crazy guy.
Is he?
Yeah,
is he still alive?
He was a mortician.
He's a mortician.
So that's questionable.
All right, let's check in with Mr. Mars with the upcoming events calendar.
Coming up on July the 14th, that's a week from tomorrow, Houston Performance Driving is going to have one of their events, Woodlands Cars and Cocktails at Sawyer Park Ice House. Now, this is a place that's very family friendly. Got things for the kids to do. You can actually bring your pets out. So if you want more information, go to HoustonPerformanceDriving.com. And Troy Dixon will be with us later, and I'm sure we'll be talking about that some. Then on Friday, July the 19th and 20th, is the 11th annual Corvette Invasion in the city of Bastrop. Now, this starts Friday evening. Lots of Corvettes, got guest speakers. It's going to be centered around the Bastrop Convention Center. Go to CorvetteInvasion.com for more information. Then, on July the 20th, is the 5-0 Car Show. I just like the name of this. Rosenberg Police Explorers present the 5-0 Car Show to support the local police explorers. And this, if you're looking for information about this show, go to TKRAUS at rosenbergtexas.gov. Then following that is the Texas Elite Auto Showcase out at NRG, August the 10th and 11th. And for more information on that, go to TexasEliteAutoShowcase.com.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2024 Lexus IS 500. Comes in a couple of trim levels, the base and the premium. I had the F Sport Performance Premium Edition, all loaded up. Now, they consider this a compact car. I don't. I consider it a midsize. It does seat 5 people, including the driver, and it was all new for 2023. Exterior features include a great big non-spindle grille, thank you, with sharp-edged headlights, bulging rear quarter panels. Can you see that if you're watching it on? Bulging rear quarter panels really give it a racy kind of flair. It has stacked quad exhaust pipes on it. Stacked, meaning one on top of the other on either side of the back end. A sculpted trunk lid with a black lower valance. What I liked about it, the overall look has an understated sportiness about it. What could use improvement? Well, I don't know as if anything, because this car just kind of fits my niche for a sport sedan. Overall, great look, forged aluminum wheels. Well, they are a $2,450 extra. Okay, interior highlights. High, bolstered, quality leather seating. Single instrument multi-gauge pod ahead of the driver there. I'm not sure that, I think for me personally, and I know that I'm old school, I would have really liked to have a full dash with the actual tachometer and speedometer and just put it in there. Make it for me. But it doesn't have that. And I know that I'm old school. Door speaker covers are color coordinated. You can fool the kids with the traditional style clock in the center of the dash. What's that, Mommy? What's that, Daddy? What's that thing there? Do the kids even know how to read a actual clock anymore with Mickey Mouse hands or anything?
It could be.
You don't know.
Never know.
Trunk room is adequate for this size car. What I liked about it, the comfort level is huge. What could use improvement? The touchpad for the infotainment system must go.
Oh.
Not a big fan of that, never have been, and it's kind of old school now, and I think that Lexus has realized that, and they're changing those things out and making it much more friendly with just touch the screen, the infotainment screen, to make your changes. 5-liter V8, non-turbocharged engine, 472 smooth horsepower, 395 pound-feet of torque, 8-speed automatic transmission. Rear-wheel drive car. So this is really old-school rear-wheel drive V8 goodness. Miles per gallon, 17 city, 25 highway for a combined of 20 miles per gallon. I got 24.1, but remember, most of my driving is on the highway. I went over 345.8 miles with this car. What I liked about it, that smooth V8 power. What could use improvement? Nothing. It's a perfect match for this car, coupled with that 8-speed automatic. Boy, is it good. Paddle shifters in the whole 9 yards. Ride and handling, sporty for a midsize sedan. What could use improvement? Adjustability. How about putting an air suspension on it, or some sort of a screw-type, shock absorbers or something that you could adjust in there. But that would make the price out of sight. Base trim price on this is $63,370. Prices tested was $67,610. Base model price $58,270. Now competitors include the Mercedes-Benz C-Class $62,600, BMW 3 Series $58,400, Audi S4 $56,800. What a great car! Really did like it.
I know somebody's got an F Sport.
Yeah, your wife. Mm-hmm. She like it?
Loves it.
Does she?
Yeah.
Does it have
Did she let you drive it?
No.
Turbocharged?
Well, she did when we went on the hot rod tour.
Turbocharged 6-cylinder?
Yeah, I believe so.
I believe so. Yeah. Well,
she's got all that detail.
Really impressed with the Lexus lineup of automobile. And I'm going to tell you something. They have a lot of cars. Different models, different styles. It's truly amazing. Go online and look at all of the different styles of cars they've got. They've got one that will compete with just about anything on the market today.
It's a good car.
Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. We'll be right back after this break.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana, the Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
This is the world's favorite place to go for fun and informative car talk. It's called the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
It is.
We got some fun car talk coming up. Troy Dixon's going to join us from Houston Performance Driving. Some people call it HPD. To me, HPD means Houston Police Department.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that somebody forgot about that somewhere along the line. But we'll get it all caught up.
Yeah.
We also have stories making automotive news headlines today. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us today. Troy Dixon, HPD. I do not see any chevrons on your shirt this morning. I'm thinking, well, maybe you never were in the HPD, were you?
Guys, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. We can hear you just fine.
Lovely, lovely. I haven't done a Zoom meeting in a while, and I wasn't sure I had all my settings correct. But no, not the. That's actually an inside joke. When we first started HPD, Houston Performance Driving, about 24 years ago, that there was some confusion there. So when we went onto social media and said, "Hey," because everybody at the time went by HPD. It just sings, right?
You know,
And,
is your headset going bad or something?
Yeah,
It's really scratchy.
We got a lot of feedback on that.
There, don't move.
Don't touch anything.
All right. Does that sound better now?
Yes, it does.
Okay, we'll try to keep that then. Yes, so back, like I said, just 24 years ago when we started Houston Performance Driving, we called it HPD for short. And a lot of people, found that jokingly funny because we'd go on social media and say, hey, this event's by HPD. And, people say, like, the police are hosting car events? And no. That was always a good, funny joke. And it still is a good joke to this day.
Yeah. So you got an event coming up.
Yes, we do. We've got our Houston Cars and Cocktails event coming up at Sawyer Park in the Woodlands on the 12th of July.
Do you serve cocktails there?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, they don't want me behind the bar. You don't want that. Nobody wants to see that mess.
So how do you get by with the thing about drinking and driving?
Sure. And Don, that's a very good question because a lot of times when I do post on social media, there's that one guy or that one Karen that will say something negative and be like, oh, you guys are mixing alcohol in cars. No, so this is a very adult. So when we did this intentionally, it was intended for adults only. So we follow all the TPCA regulations. So we hire police. We are private gated property. I'm not quite sure of every little tidbit law, but we follow the avenues that are within TABC regulations, so that way there's no big deal there. Being in the parking lot with a cocktail, just enjoying the cars that are out there in the display area. But we hire police. We have either.
So as long as you don't get ripped up, you're okay.
Oh yeah, and you know what's great? We've never. We've been doing this. So we've been doing Cars and Cocktails for probably 3 years, and I've been hosting events for 20. And we've never, not once have we ever had an issue with that. It is good, because once we see something like that, if we saw somebody going ham, we would address that. The coordinators would take it upon ourselves to address it. But we don't have that. We don't even really, it's almost where we don't even look at that anymore because we never have anybody do that because it's a family oriented event. Everybody is very responsible. Everybody stays hydrated. And, there's just no alarm when it comes to that. Well,
I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't address that with you because, you obviously have had people come up and say, hey, what's the deal? And I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but I didn't want to put that out there.
I love cars and I love bourbon. Now, mix those two together on, in some circumstances, that could be a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, you could lose a finger or two after the car comes crashing down
Sure.
in the driveway.
Yeah, like I said, it's always in the back of our minds. We're always on the lookout for it. I have a PhD in human behavior practically. I'm just a very social guy. So if we saw anything that may be over the top, like I said, it would be addressed. We have the law enforcement there on site to address that. Heck, if it was in a situation that was getting to a boiling point, I would pay for an Uber to get that guy home.
So let me ask you this. Let's talk more about this event that's coming up.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay. Well, and it's at Sawyer Park. Where is that exactly?
So Sawyer Park is right as you come across the county line in southern Montgomery County. So it's got a great access point where there's 99, Hardy Toll Road, 45 all merged together, and it's going to be right there on the Woodland side of the property. I'm not quite sure the address. I know the street name is Pruitt, and it used to be the old Papa's. If you remember Papa's, like Papa's on the Lake, or when Papa's Ice House was in the Woodlands, they had bought, some guys I actually went to high school bought that property, remodeled it, and made it to a more proper ice house, and gave it took the pink colors away that Papa's had, and then gave it a much more a facelift, and redid the parking lot so it's fully paved, fully striped, full menu. Actually, a lot of people like the food. I think this is the one place where we host one of our. We have another Cars and Cocktails in the last Sunday of every month at Tomball and the Little Woodrose there. Same concepts and things like that, but where that facility is been, like I said, remodeled. It's very nice. It's got games for the kids. It's got an AstroTurf area for cornhole, other games that they have out there. Massive screen TVs for the Astros games, Texans games, things like that. You can bring the kids. It is we do have people. You have to be 21 to drink, obviously, but families are allowed inside, and dogs are allowed as well. So it's a pet friendly.
Is it more of a cruise in? Is it a judged show? What is it?
No, so this is basically just a social gathering, a network, professional and network gathering. We will have car shows from time to time that have trophies, have events, have categories, but it's I guess it is a cruise in because we'll have groups meet on the north, south, east, west, and central locations, and those locations will be posted on our social media, mainly through Facebook. And you can meet up early with that crew, or there's other events going on that people are coming out. For example, Car Culture will be I think they're in Pearland the same day as we are, but they're earlier. So you have those guys coming up out of that to give a drive and to experience, have a good little seat time, which is great, and then get up there and then get parked in. We have VIP sections where people can pre-register, so there's a guaranteed spot for you. We'll have you on a roster. You check in with the staff when you pull in, and you can get to a spot very easily. You don't have to fight the crowd. We've got multiple staff stationed throughout the parking lot, just pointing the direction, getting people everywhere they need to go. And then, just get to your hole, get to your spot, enjoy the parking lot, come inside, grab a table, enjoy any sports facilities, enjoy the music, enjoy the people. And that's what we really do here. It's really about meeting new people. So if you're a car club and you're looking for new attendees or new blood, it's a good way to come out and meet other people that have the same chassis, or if you're a car club that has multiple chassis, or if you're an event promoter, you can come out. If you have a product you want to sell, you can come out, like car cleaning products, anything like that. We have sponsor stations and things like that, and we're very, very well designed, so everything's very cosmetically attractive. And then it's
like
just a good way to
cosmetically attractive.
Don, don't even get me started.
Looks like he's getting some work done.
Yeah.
Well, I need to lose about 50 pounds and we'll be better.
That's
50.
But yeah, it's a great event to meet new people. So if you like to chat like I do, like the strongest muscles in my body are probably these right here on me.
Yeah.
And once you get me talking, I don't be quiet.
We know.
That's why it's always so good talking to y'all. But it's, like I said, it's a fantastic day. It's just so much fun.
So what are the hours of it? What day is it? Is it Saturday or Sunday?
It's always on Sundays.
Sundays.
So we are the second Sunday of the month at Sawyer Park, which is coming up, and we are the last Sunday of the month, which is at Little Woodrose and Tomball. Different parking lots, but same parking structure. And so, for example, our Little Woodrose was 21 and up. They had a very strict policy of no kids, and it was kind of heartbreaking because you'd see kids, parents come in the parking lot, and we asked them, and they would come up to the gate, and the cops wouldn't let them in, or the door people at Little Woodrose wouldn't let them in, and they got turned down. So we started getting some feedback on that. So we went to them and asked them to turn it 21 and up. Now, Sawyer Park, good thing, they were already 21 and up. So it was no big thing because kids come from the baseball fields that are just down the street. And so we do get a lot of kids at Sawyer Park, which is coming up here on the 12th. And that'll be from 11 to 3.
11 to 3 p.m. The coolest part of the day.
Oh, it's right now it's miserable. I mean, that's why get the car in there, find your spot. You know, if you have a VIP spot, follow the instructions of the parking attendants. They'll help you get it in, and then get out of there and get into some shade. You know, get into the facility, and get under the trees. Get into the AC. Get some water. And get out of that heat because it's quite miserable. I mean, I have like probably 3 shirts that I have that I take off and put on because I'm soaked, and you're out there, hats, sunscreen, sunglasses. So definitely, if you do come out now in the summertime, Houston Cars and Cocktails, definitely hydrate, skin protection, sun protection.
What cars show up out there?
It is mainly your modern domestics. So you've got your Corvette, Camaro, Cadillac, CTSV, ATSV. You got your Dodge Viper. We do have a good about maybe 20-30% is import. So you'll have your Supra. You'll have your BMWs, Mercedes. We do get the McLaren. We do get the Lambos.
That's the one that Jeff. That's the one that Jeff brings up there, right? The Lambo.
Yep. Lambo.
Oh yeah. And we try to, and we got people very well known people, like you've got Kelly Bice, who's a big-time heavy hitter in the Texas Mile, the half-mile, Arkansas, mile. They do, 2,000 horsepower C7 Corvettes, Z06 Grand Sport. It looks like something straight out of NASA. And then you've got people, other members that have, like your Dodge Viper Voodoo 2 ACRs that are, that were sent off to Calvo Motorsports with 2,500 horsepower. Cars that just shake your heart out of your chest.
But Jesus.
Yeah. And then, but we are, one thing I would like to say is we are trying to work more with our classic car community. That's a group that we're trying to motivate to join us, and we do have a classic VIP row. So we have row 1 for our Europeans and our Americans, and then we have like row 2, which is kind of a mixed muscle, and then we have our row 3, which is our classic American muscle. So we try to work with those folks as well. We're trying to build our relationship with them to get them out there because we like that mix, we like that balance.
So it is going to be next weekend.
Week from tomorrow.
Week from tomorrow, 11 to 3, Sawyer Park Ice House, Woodlands.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, good. Well, it sounds like fun. Is there an entry fee?
No. So it's free to enter. Come in the parking lot. Like I said, there's staff all over the place in green polos, just like the one I'm wearing here with our beautiful little logo that I designed personally. And what we do.
You're so GQ.
I know. It's terrible, isn't it?
50.
We do have our reserved VIP spots, which we do ask $20 for as donations because, there is a cost an overhead that we incur. It's for our time. We pay for our police. We've got staff and things like that. So it is it's like a donation to help us move along, and we use it for our marketing. So like on Facebook, where we can boost posts and we can add more people and get a bigger reach to draw in new blood and keep things fresh and and not just stagnant.
How many cars generally show up?
We get about 300.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, that's our capacity on both parking lots. Both parking lots can fit 300 cars. So we'll block off about 50, 70 VIP spots. So we get about 50, 70 pre-registered people that will message me, throughout, the month or the weeks leading up to. Troy, I want a VIP spot. Can you put us in? Absolutely.
So do you want us to go to Facebook? Is that the easiest thing?
That would be great. So Facebook-wise, you have Houston Performance Driving, which is where all the information is delegated out. And that's me putting one person putting that info out. And then we have our open forum, which is our group page. So you want to join that. So Houston Performance Driving group page. And then we have our Houston Cars and Cocktails fan page, Houston Cars and Cocktails group page as well. So the fan pages are for singular information delegation, and then the group pages are open forums so people can ask questions, look and see what other events are going on, because other coordinators from around the Houston area post their events in our open forum, and it gives other people that come out to see us opportunities to go see other car events. And
Troy, it's great to talk to you, my friend. We thank you so much for joining us.
You guys.
All right, you take care of yourself,
bet.
and we'll
Thank
see you next Sunday. That's the Houston Performance Driving big event next Sunday at
Next
Sawyer
Sunday,
Park, 11 to 3. All right. Time now for a quick break on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. It's available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com podcasts at your favorite podcast provider. We are back right after this.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000 square foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special Pro-Am Auto
someone
Accessories.
special?
In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Hey, welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show for this Saturday. This is 4th of July weekend. Man, I'm telling you, having 4th of July on Thursday,
It really jacked me up.
everybody, because now, there's the Thursday. So do you take the day off on Friday? Yes.
If
You're allowed.
you got enough seniority to get in line to get that day.
Screw that. I've got the vacation time.
Well, I know, but like one of my daughters, she wanted that day off, but there was too many people that beat her to it, and so she couldn't get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got to be on top of that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and then people, they go off of seniority, too, obviously.
Well,
so,
that's part of the thing, in the union shop for sure.
So last week was a pre-4th of July. This is our post-4th of July.
Uh-huh.
And
This is the hurricane show.
We're getting into the tropical storm, little weather.
Whatever.
It'll
We
be
need
a
rain.
hurricane by the time it
the
gets
rain
here.
would be good, but a small one is okay, I guess.
In and out's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Time now for This Week in Auto History. Mr. Mars has that.
I found a lot of things this week that was really a really busy week in history. So June the 30th, back in 1953, of course, the first Chevrolet Corvette rolls off the assembly line. It was a white drop top with a red interior in it.
They were all that way.
Blood red.
And, it's all of them were?
Almost.
So then on July the 1st in 1903, the Ford Motor Company actually sells its first automobile. This is the one Henry sold, the Model A, that began everything and really started it
It's
all.
not a Model
It
A.
looks like they're starting to tub it out.
It's a Model T, if anything. It's not a Model A.
No, I think that's a Model A.
Okay, well,
All right,
for those
well,
out there, Model A and Model T
Google.
aficionados,
Send your hate mail to
To-
Mars at In Wheel Time.
Oh, yeah. We need more.
It's gonna be tubbed out.
July the 3rd, 1996 is when Dodge had the Viper GTS Coupe came out.
Oh, boy.
And it was introduced as a 96 with a V10 engine, and it became kind of an automotive icon that they don't make anymore. Then in July the 4th, 1894, Elwood Hayes, not his brother, but Elwood, test drives his first automobile. Now, this is one of the first ones that was in the United States in 1894, but noted that it was 8 years after the German patent for their first
Did
automobile.
his brother Jake join him?
Now, Jake was busy that day washing clothes or something.
I'd drive
Jake and Elwood?
Yeah.
I'd drive it.
Go
So,
ahead.
July the 5th, 1928, the first Chrysler Plymouth automobile goes on sale, leading up to the Chrysler, which has
that's cool.
a lot of iconic products that are no longer made. Then in July the 6th, 1941, Chrysler unveils Town and Country. Now, this is came with a wood panel on the side of the body, and it kind of set the stage for the iconic American station wagon. The other thing it was notable for was when they did come out with the minivan, the Town and Country used that same styling with the wood panels on the side
We
of it.
remember.
Yeah, and it really kicked off the minivan
A vinyl
revolution.
applique kind of styling.
Well, I think this one actually, they
I
just
know
left
that
it in
that
the
one's
crate.
real wood, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about the van that you
Yes.
mentioned.
Yep. So it was a busy week. I found a lot of stuff this week in auto history.
You know, it'd be a lot of fun is to just kind of take some really cheap C-class plywood, cut it up, and put that on the side of that minivan. Maybe stain it if you really are into it.
Oh, it's
Drill
stained, all
screws.
right.
And then just drill it in there so the windows won't go up and down anymore.
Or get John to wrap it.
No. It loses the whole effect
No,
if you don't.
Put the wood on it, but then wrap the wood instead of staining it.
That's too much. Just get some plywood and,
And to get a bucket of stain and throw it on there and be
fence
done with
pickets, old fence pickets you
That
see.
barnwood.
Screw it in with some nice
Or you could just go through the freeway and hit those pickets that separate the lanes.
picket hitter.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I know somebody that did that. Whack the front of the hood
Whack it.
and new hood. That'll take care of that. Some of the stories making headlines this week. U.S. new car market lost some momentum in the second quarter as affordability, elevated prices, and higher borrowing costs continued to weigh on consumers, even as dealers scrambled to salvage sales when key software was knocked offline by a coordinated cyber attack.
Oh,
Talking
my.
about CDK. The market dropped 0.5% in the second quarter based on results from most automakers, with sales still to be reported by Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, and Jaguar Land Rover. Seasonally adjusted rate of sales for June tallied 15.3 million. Cox Automotive and Global Data said in a preliminary report, down sharply from a 2024 high of 16.8 million in May and 16.22 million in June of 23. Well, the market finished the second quarter on a sour note because of the CDK outage. Cox Automotive Chief Economist Jonathan Smoke, there's a name,
There you go.
said other factors are undermining sales. The fleet market is clearly slowing. And we still believe the retail market is lacking urgency, with many would-be buyers deciding wait and see is the prudent approach. With hopes of lower loan rates on the horizon, uncertainty of the upcoming national election, and continued downward price pressure, particularly in new vehicles, the wait-and-see attitude should hardly be a surprise. I'm glad I'm not looking for a new car right now.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
But according to our last guest, our last guest, who mentioned the fact
Lot links.
that there are 22s on some dealer lots that they would just love to sell, and I'm sure at a steep discount.
There's a deal.
That surprised me that would happen.
Well,
22.
like I said, that Biscayne, that white Biscayne on Richardson Chevrolet lot that we moved 1,000 times, but had to replace the battery with a charge to move it. So that thing became a sore, a leech
Ran
in
out of-
everybody's pants because you had to move the thing.
Warranty expired because of mileage. They were moving it around.
moving around, never
on the
left the
lot.
parking lot.
And they wound up doing a dealer trade
Yeah.
on it. Phew.
Which I find it interesting. I had an uncle from Arkansas call me, and he was wanting to know what I thought about the Tacoma, and I referred him to the review that you just recently did. But he was looking for a 23, which he can't find any in Arkansas because of the pricing. They're wanting full list price for the 24s, and he's 80 years old. He doesn't want to spend that much money on a new truck. But So I told him to go out on the internet and, do a broader search that he might find a 23. I never even thought that there might be some 22s still out there somewhere. Not necessarily the Tacoma, but of anything.
I hear you. I didn't either. Four dealerships have joined two consumers in suing CDK Global following its cyber attacks and software outages, alleging the incident compromised private information and harmed auto retail businesses and its employees. The lawsuit by the independent Formula Sports Cars dealership, the franchise Lamborghini, Karma, and Lotus retailer Prestige Motor Car Imports, Chevrolet of Canton and Bill Holt Chevrolet of Blue Ridge stores, and consumers Annie Ortiz and Alexis Pino, seeks to also represent other dealerships and consumers as well as certain auto retail employees in a class action case. You knew that was coming.
Yeah.
That's probably a lawyer-driven thing.
It is.
Whatever the case, CDK, really, they messed that all up by allowing themselves to get their software compromised by a foreign entity, the Russians. The Russians are coming. The Russians are coming. Did you ever see that movie?
Probably did a long time ago.
If you look at it today, it's really bad, but it was really funny back in the day.
It was.
Yeah.
It was Jonathan Winters, wasn't it?
I believe that he was one of the stars on
the Colonel or something.
And the submarine got lost, and they landed on the East Coast, and everybody was up in arms, as you can imagine.
Up in arms.
Fisker has asked a bankruptcy judge overseeing its Chapter 11 proceedings to approve the sale of more than 3,000 Ocean electric crossovers in its inventory for about $14,000 per car to a vehicle leasing company.
Wow.
Following the judge's nod, Fisker will be able to offload 3,321.1 electric vehicles to New York-based American Lease for $46.25 million, according to a court filing on Tuesday. The EV startup, which filed for bankruptcy protection last month, faced logistics issues with selling its Ocean electric crossovers and pivoted to a dealer partner model earlier this year after burning through a large amount of cash. What an absolute mess. And how about those people that bought the Ocean from Fisker, and now they paid full price for it, and now they are screwed, blued, and tattooed.
They're drowning in the ocean.
Well, that's a good scenario there. All right. We'd love to hear from you.
We do it, yeah. After you subscribe. You got to subscribe first, and then we'll hear from you.
Subscribe to what?
The show.
You have to subscribe to the show?
Yeah, no, you have
to subscribe.
Yeah, but we highly suggest that you do that.
We do that, but you don't have to do that.
Well, yeah, we're demanding it.
Okay, well, here. You take the rest of the show, and you do that. So, time now for a quick break on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Streaming and podcasting around the planet. Look for us from your favorite provider. Back after this.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
It's the Enwell Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, we've got some stuff for you.
Steph.
I've got a special feature on calling the car dealership and listening to the phone ring off the wall. Either you're calling it, or if you're in the dealership, you can hear it ringing. And I want to say, you want to go ahead and take a couple minutes out of my time to answer your phone? Let me go over there and answer it. I'll take care of it.
That would be funny.
When I was working at the car dealership, I hated answering the phone because I was kind of like the switchboard operator. They didn't want to talk to me. Ed Campbell, please. Yeah, hold on. Put him on hold. Hey, Ed, got a phone call, line 1. 10 minutes later, the person's still holding. And Ed Campbell's writing up another customer.
He's on vacation. He doesn't even,
Well, he knows that he's not going to make any money off of that phone call.
He's not in the country.
Golly.
Poor Ed.
I know. Poor Ed. No, not poor Ed. Poor Ed made a lot of money.
Because he didn't talk on the phone.
He did not. He's out there writing up customers. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. Chief Engineer David Ainsley vacationing in the UP.
Is he still UP?
I think so. And I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us today. I'm sorry?
I was pointing at the UP on the
He's a
The
Uper.
Uper.
He's a
The Uper. So to continue that story, endless ringing or getting stuck on hold happens to 1 out of 7 dealership service customers who try to schedule an appointment, according to new Pied Piper research.
Oh.
This is from Automotive News. In a first-of-its-kind study, Pied Piper called 2,716 automotive dealerships. All of them got put on hold, spanning 34 brands between January and May to measure the efficiency and quality of service calls when attempting to set up an appointment for a check engine light. The study aimed to measure a new and invisible metric for dealer principals and general managers to help boost their brand loyalty. Pied Piper CEO Fran O'Hagan said, redheaded woman. Well-run service departments focus on increasing customer loyalty, and the first service experience to drive that loyalty is a customer's phone call to schedule an appointment. He said in a statement. Can you imagine the crap that he gets because his name is Fran?
Well, from
Hey,
the redhead,
Franny.
from the redheaded lady, he probably does.
Yeah, probably so. Vehicle customers who find scheduling service difficult vote with their feet by moving to another dealership or independent shop or even getting rid of their problem vehicle. Pied Piper began with 30 zip codes and expanded its scope to areas with the highest population densities, Houston, identifying dealerships most likely to receive service calls. Dealerships were rated on a scale of 0 to 100. Efficiency measurements, the time taken for customers to reach someone to schedule an appointment, for example, accounted for 62% of the total score. Quality measurements, such as the proactive efforts to offer alternative cars during service or providing appointment guidance, made up the remaining 38%. Acura captured the top spot in the study with a score of 65. Mazda was second with 64. Lexus third with 63. At Acura, only 3% of customers waited on hold more than 2 minutes, compared with 12% overall. The industry-wide average total score was 58. No, can't even use that anymore. O'Hagan said the magic demarcation line is 2 minutes. Anything beyond that, and bad things happen, he told Automotive News. Customers could switch to another dealership or an independent shop, a potential revenue pitfall as most dealers make their money in service and parts. Overall, 55% of callers accomplished their goal of speaking to someone within 1 minute and scheduling an appointment for within 1 week. 42% of the dealerships achieve scores of 70 or more for providing a proactively helpful experience that goes above and beyond the customer's basic expectation, O'Hagan said. However, no brand scored in the 70s because while some of their dealerships performed well, others did not, dragging down the average score. Fiat, with a score of 44, and Chrysler and Polestar, both with a 47, ranked lowest on the study.
Wow.
On average, customers hung up more than 25% of the time without scheduling a service appointment at these brand stores.
You know,
So there you have it.
2
No
minutes.
surprise there.
2 minutes is plenty of time to think about why is this taking so long? Why is this dealership? People can get irritated pretty quick, and I can see that.
there's also, when you get online to a dealership, they get the little pop-up. Hi, my name is Ned. I'm here to help you.
Ned.
Or whoever.
Ned.
I'm the red-haired lady. And ask me any question. We got cars. Da, da, da.
My name is
It always
O'Hurley.
pops up in that part of your screen that you can talk to the AI assistant is what it is, and they direct you. So you get it on the internet, you just don't get it on the...
I don't understand. If you've got a check engine light, why can't you just go online and say, hi, I'm me, and I have this car, and either type in your customer number that you get if you bought it there, or
Right.
some number, something to identify
License
yourself,
plate,
like bars or
something.
whoever.
Yeah.
And I've got this, 75 Chevy Biscayne that I need to get in because the check engine light is on. Okay? When would you like to come in? We have these slots available.
Yeah, I guess that's your
I'll
point.
take that slot right there. Why can't it be that simple?
I think it's getting to that point because I'll tell you, I called the guy the other day, and the machine answered his voicemail, and it came up and said, "Hello, Michael. Ross is busy at the moment, but he'd be glad for you to leave him a message." And you leave the message if you want to, but it identified me and addressed me
By your phone
as
number.
me, and I asked him about that. It's an AI program that knows to go in there, use caller ID to find out who's calling. Here's the message you give them. If I'm not available, blah, blah, blah. And I think they're going to get to that point, and that really should be their answer.
You mean to tell me that your name didn't pop up as Shirley?
Nope, not this time.
Not this time.
The red-haired lady.
Yeah. Shirley O'Hurley. Got a ring to it,
She drinks Jameson.
apparently.
Yeehaw.
Yeah. Or that other high-end stuff.
Yeah. Good stuff. It's good with coffee.
Is it?
Yeah. No.
They include the Ford Escape for 23 and 24, misaligned cruise control radar module. It looks to the back. I don't know. Unexpected downshift can cause loss of control in the Ford F-150 for the 2014 model year. Now, okay, I'm doing 75 miles an hour down the highway, and all of a sudden, it downshifts to first.
I hope you got rev matching.
There ain't no rev matching at that speed. Can you imagine? The whole back end gets locked up and you go spinning off like a NASCAR in a bad Sunday afternoon.
Something will probably pop in the transmission before that.
Something. Land Rover, engine compartment fire from an oil leak. Defender, Discovery, Range Rover Sport, Range Rover Velar for the 2024 model year. Take it back. Engine compartment fire from an oil leak, Jaguar F-Pace for 2024. I knew somebody that had that.
Yeah.
Got rid of it. Front brake hoses can crack and leak fluid in the Porsche Taycan 2020 to 2025. Front brake hoses can crack and leak fluid. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I guess you'd find that out once you push your
Go
foot
back
all
to
the
the
way to
vendor
the
on
floor.
that one, yeah.
Instrument panel may fail to eliminate in the Cadillac XT5 and XT6, 23 to 25. Lexus TX and the TX Hybrid. The Toyota Grand Highlander and the Grand Highlander Hybrid for 2024. Curtain airbag may deploy improperly. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to get the TX, and they said, nope, can't give it to you. You have to trade it out with something else because
It's on recall.
it's on recall.
I'll be darned.
Volkswagen Atlas, which I thought was going to be this one that I'm currently driving, but apparently it wasn't. And the Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport 2020 to 2024 front passenger airbag may not deploy. Front brake hoses can tear and leak fluid in the Audi e-tron and RS e-tron GT 22 to 24. Door handles can stick and fail to open on the Fisker Ocean. Wait a minute. Isn't that the one that they're pretty much giving away for $13,000?
Yep.
So who cares?
Ride the high seas.
I guess so. Infinity. Drive shaft can break on the M35, M56, Q50, Q70, Q70 Hybrid, and the Infinity Q70L. It starts in the year 2011 and runs through 2019. Drive shaft can break. TPMS. Light may not illuminate in the Fiat 500. And ball joint may separate from the lower link on the Nissan Frontier for 2024. Those are some pretty serious problems
Safety
there.
issues, yeah.
So my suggestion to you is either go to safercar.gov or you can go to NHTSA.gov, any of those. Type in your VIN number that you can find on your insurance card, and it'll tell you whether or not you have a recall and whether or not that recall has been completed. So if you buy a used car, you'll want to know, has it been completed?
Right.
No,
And if it has, then they
and
know it.
we've talked about it in the past, but a good time to do that is every time you go get your yearly vehicle inspection, get your license plate sticker for your car here in Texas. That's a good time to do it.
Yeah, we did that with Kylie's. We asked for the.
You know what?
Carfax.
We need to get a hold of our DPS officer and ask him about inspection stickers because that's about to change.
Oh, it's already.
He'll be here on
moving
the
it.
20th.
He will.
He'll be joining us on the 20th. We were trying to work it in to where he could join us today to talk a little bit about hurricane evacuations or whatever.
I'm sure he's busy today.
Yeah, and he just couldn't do it. So we set it up on the 20th, and it'd be a good thing to talk to him about.
Yep. And last time we saw him was at Tailpipes and Tacos, live and in person.
I know.
Yeah.
It was good to see him. Okay. So we've got that. Let's do something that we haven't done in a few weeks.
I'm tingling.
I shave.
Tingling. All right. What we do here, once in a while when we can, we have time. Hemmings has this thing that they put out on Mondays called the Hemmings.com Sold Cars Roundup. So these are cars that have sold through their online auction. Used cars, clearly. So we try to guess. Now, I could drill down, but it's way too much work. We were just kind of trying to make it simple here on certain cars and models.
Simple. Is what we call it. Yeah.
We like
And
simple.
So I give the year, make, and model of the car, and then you decide what you think was the sold car price for this.
Okay.
Now, Jeff is a big Cadillac fan.
They can play along at home.
And Jeff, what would you give for a 2006 Cadillac XLR V? Now, this...
That's one of them that I'm really not a fan of.
I understand
because
that.
of the
So
XLR,
it was built on a Corvette chassis,
Yeah.
and it didn't fly. It didn't sell that well for them. But now today they're a little bit rare.
What's the year again?
This is a 2006 XLR V, so it's got the V8 in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think that sold for? It's a convertible.
21.
Mars?
I'm-
Now this is a $100,000 car.
Yeah.
Okay. He says
I had-
21,000.
He says 21. I was thinking more like 15, but I don't have a clue.
Really?
I don't even know what it looks like. Yeah.
Well, it sold for $32,550.
I wouldn't have given that. No.
If you're into that sort of thing. How about
Maybe for a
a
collection.
1971 Chevy Corvette convertible?
Ooh.
What do you think that would sell for? 71. Looks good. Deep forest green with a white vinyl top on
Ooh.
it. Black walls, trim rings. I mean, it looks good. It's got the chrome bumper in the front and the back.
Yeah. That was last year, the chrome bumper,
I
wasn't it?
believe so. Well, remember they kind of divided it in half. They put
They split it, yeah, on the back.
the 72, I think, had the rubberized bumper, color-coded, and then the back one was still chrome, and then 73, I think, that they went.
The urethane.
Whatever, yeah.
So I'm thinking, Mike, you go first.
You said it. What year is it?
71 Corvette convertible.
Yeah, the mileage on them things really drive the price on that. So let's just say it's medium average. I would say 22.
Yeah, I'll go 18.
31.5. Must be really clean. Must be a nice car. Here you go, Mr. Niederville.
Yeehaw!
1969 Chevy C10 pick-em-up truck. It looks stock. It's got a light blue body and a white cab. Looks like it's been taken care of. What do you think something like that would sell?
Very
what they call a
factory.
square body. A
Yeah.
69 Chevy C10.
Yeah, them things are so hot right now
Yeah.
that I would probably, if it's restored or whatever,
It
I
looks
would say,
completely stock.
Yeah, I would say about 26.
Good call. That was a good one. Let's go 25.
16.8.
Maybe they're not as hot as I thought they were.
Well, we don't know the other conditions.
Right. I mean, it may be full of rust. We don't know. A 1941 Dodge Deluxe. I'm going to show you.
A deluxe.
It's that blue one right
big
there.
fat
that's a
thing.
It
deluxe.
looks really good.
It looks
Big
like a deluxe.
Wide whites. Looks like it's been fully restored. Beautiful paint
Chop
job,
it,
dark
tub it
blue.
out.
It's even got the optional fog lights that are mounted to the bumper add-ons in the front of it. It's nice. That would be one to take on the Hot Rod Tour of Texas. Mm-hmm. I think I'd have to lower it and put some other different tires and
Yeah,
wheels
you'd
on
have
it,
to
but
do a
whatever.
little bit, but then and then the price starts going down. On
41 Dodge Deluxe.
it. I'd have to say probably 18.
46.
Well, let's split it in the middle. How about 28,875? There it is, 28,875.
Wow.
There's some.
And this is the sold prices, right? This
Yeah.
is what they were asking.
what they said.
This is what they sold. Up
Okay.
here.
Here's one for the masses: a 2015 Ford Roush Mustang.
Ooh.
Good-looking car. Bad looking, bad to the bone. What do you think that car would sell for right there? Got the Roush paint job on it, special wheels, tires, and you know it's got engine work on it. Of course, you don't know whether it's been tore up or not.
Yeah, you don't know if it's been sideways on YouTube videos crashing through the intersection.
Correct.
I would the Roush. I would go 24.
32.
Very good. 33.6.
I'll be darned.
First one I got all month.
Was that $100,000 car?
At least.
I don't think the Roush was. Now,
Yeah.
the Saline was definitely.
Well,
but
The same shelf.
All right. The last one, a 2018 Ferrari 488 Spider. There it is in white. See it down there?
yeah.
I'll phone a friend on that one.
And so have I. 125? I don't have a clue.
98.
$280,000.
So our both of our prices wouldn't buy it.
It's a beautiful car, but
Oh, yeah.
holy Toledo.
$220,000.
And somebody found it on Hemmings.com.
and bought it.
Golly.
So if you want to have some fun, you got time, and you should have this weekend once the storm gets here, then go to Hemmings.com and the sold cars roundup, or the cars that are for sale.
Yep.
All right. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. It's In-Wheel Time Car Talk. Just look for that. New daily podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will continue right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge and Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. In Wheel Time Car Talk. We always have some features for you. In this segment, we have Jeff, and inside Jeff Zekin's mind, close the door.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Traveling and tires.
Well, traveling is just to get your tires going for the summer season. Places that you can buy them, because this is going to be my tire day. Different places, different opportunities. You're going to replace them because they're old. You get a flat. You need to get 2 tires, 1 tire, maybe change the spare. But here you go. These are the places you can buy tires that are fairly inexpensive. Costco is one of them. You may not know that, but Costco does have an automotive department. Surprised to know that you can get tires at Costco in addition to your rotisserie chicken, Michael, or a hot dog, Don. Check out your local Costco Tire Center for prices. Remember to factor in free installation. 5-year road hazard warranty is also there. Rotation, balance, and other checks of your automobile. The next one is Tire Rack. Now, this is an online service. You may want a specialized tire, perhaps looking for tires that can only be shipped directly to you. Tire Rack has plenty of options, direct to the consumer, dealer, or the shop that you do business with. When you're comparison shopping.
How can they compete? I don't understand how they can compete price-wise with the big box stores or with, like, say, for instance, Discount Tire.
They can price match, and it used to be back in the day when I was heavily involved.
But that includes shipping?
In some cases it does, but when they price matched back in the day, it was only for a brick and mortar store because of the shipping, and the tires cheaper online than they were at that Discount Tire or the Costco or the Walmart. But nowadays they're all about the same price, so that's all washed. The shipping and all that stuff, sometimes it's included, sometimes they waive it depending on the value of what you're buying.
I had no clue.
Yep. So Tire Rack is one of them. And then, of course, the mobile installation. Tire Rack has a service where they'll drive up to your house in their truck and put them on for you in your driveway or your work.
But I don't want my tires delivered to my house. I have nothing. So this would work.
A house or a business.
Well, I mean, yeah. Take it to the for instance, Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't know whether she has mounting facilities there at her shop.
I know that, but we're going to get into that here in just a minute.
I know another journalist that I follow on Facebook, she ordered tires, and she had a picture of them in her driveway, all 4.
Yep.
She was looking for somebody to put them on.
Yeah. Well, you got to figure
She
that out
ordered 'em
before you
online,
do
got 'em
that.
shipped.
Now, that's her fault.
Well, I understand, but, it's a lot of people get caught that way. Oh, I can get them online cheaper. Well, now it's like a dog chasing a car. What do you do with it when you catch it?
Yeah, exactly. So, but you have to consider that in there, and they'll tell you all about that once you get on their site. The next one we have is Walmart. Oh, Wally World may not be traditional to consider when you're in the market for a few tires, but when you're at Walmart, you can get your car serviced, your oil changed, your tires rotated, balanced. You can get new tires while you're doing the shopping, while you're looking at the shoe department, or you're buying a new bathing suit, Mike. So all of that stuff while you're shopping, you can have this stuff done.
Mike buying a bathing suit. Really?
They don't sell G-strings there.
God.
And the next one we have that you can buy vehicle or tires for your vehicle is Tire Buyer. You have different options for tires depending on what you need. The Tire Buyer can help you navigate those choices. They all can do that. It's just a matter of your choice.
You could do that for
You
them.
can do that.
No, you.
Yeah, I could.
You.
Yeah. Typical options like searching maybe your year, make, model. They put all that in. They will direct you to the size of the tire for your vehicle. If you're looking for high-performance tires, this is a good place to go also. Online for high-performance tires is probably the better way to go unless you know somebody that deals with performance tires.
But then you still got the same problem of getting them mounted. Because not everybody can mount those.
Here's your answer to that. There's a place called Simple Tire. Simple Tire works with shops in your area. So if you go to Simple Tire, you're looking for tires and you buy the tires, they will recommend, we'll go to Don's Lube or go to Mike's body repair place. They will do your tires for you. So they recommend.
So it's like a mobile.
Well, no, they recommend places. Okay, you're going to buy the tires.
It's a brick and mortar store to
and
go to.
The nearest place near you is 2 miles away. We'll deliver them to that place, and you can set up the appointment.
Oh, so they don't send them to your house.
They send them to that place because they are part of that.
I don't want tires sent to my house. I'm going to put 4 brand new Corvette tires in the Corvette to take it somewhere to get them mounted. Not.
Exactly, I agree.
Okay, we know his feeling on that. Amazon is another one. Really does have everything you need, including tires, but you got to be careful because, of course, there's no installation, and they will deliver them anywhere you want, depending on the address you give them. But getting a retailer to do that is okay. In some cases, you have to look at what Amazon does, because if you buy a tire, it's only going to be one tire, not one set. So if you're looking for 4 tires, you got to put in 4 tires. So there's a little discrepancy with Amazon on that.
Got to pay attention.
Yeah. And the last one is Sam's Club. Of course, it's just like the Costco's. They have a shop there. You can get your oil changed and all that good stuff while you're walking around getting that hot dog or getting that piece of pizza, Mike, or that bathing suit. So there you go. Check them out.
And I will say this, that Jeffrey helped me a lot when it came to purchasing the replacement tires on the Corvette. Now, the car's tires that it came with that were on there, I didn't realize how thin they were in the back because certain people that owned the car prior to me apparently burnt them off of it. But whatever the case may be, Jeff helped me in the fact that he made sure for the guy over at Discount to make a note on the order sheet that I wanted these tires, but I wanted to make sure that the build date on those tires were within 6 months of each other or something?
You're good with a year, but 6 months is even better.
Yeah. So although the tires were the same period of birthdays, okay?
Yeah. Build date.
Yeah, the build date of the tire. And I never thought about that.
No.
But, when you buy tires and you don't have somebody that is really looking out for you like Jeff looked out for me, I wouldn't know. New tire's a new tire.
Yeah, give me 4 tires or 3 tires, whatever
but
it is.
the build date can be important. And why is that, Jeff?
Well, because they deteriorate. Tires do rot on the shelf. Like anything, it's like a head of lettuce. It generally goes bad. Tires do that too. And the next segment, my Motor Minute, we're going to talk a little bit about something like that.
Okay,
so
good.
Just kind of led into it. Well, so there you go.
Interesting.
Just call me Karnak.
I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that you could tell them that I want.
Yes, absolutely.
That.
And
that tire's too old. You got to give me something different. Just tell them.
Darn.
Just flat out tell them that the tires, and they know. They think that you're not going to know.
Yeah, you're not paying attention.
It's the
or you
week
just don't
and
know.
the year the tire was built.
I guarantee you, one of my girls, she's bought some tires recently. She never looked at that.
I never did
she
either.
just had a bad tire. I need a new one.
Yeah. So if it's 20 of 24, it's the 20th week of 2024.
Learn something new every day.
Today's N-Will Time Card Talk Show is sponsored by the group of original Lupi Tortilla restaurants in Houston, Beaumont, College Station, Gulf Coast Auto Shield, and Pro-Am Auto Accessories.
Cool.
Our show continues right after this quick break.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
You got the N-Will Time Car Talk Show coming to you from the Sugar Shack Studios just outside Houston, Texas. Just ahead, we're going to talk to Mr. Carfax himself, Patrick Olson.
All right.
Jeff has the cruise-in calendar, and we'll have stories making automotive news headlines this week coming up in this segment of the N-Will Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us. Chief Engineer David Ainsley vacationing in the UP of Michigan.
You bird.
His big 3-week vacation once a
So
year.
jealous.
And
He's
he's
having
in the
fun.
middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it.
Great weather.
Well, we've been talking about car sales, and we touched a little bit on the problems that new car dealers are having. They've got some cars on the lots for sale, like 22 model years that they just can't
just
get
found
rid
that
of.
out,
Yeah,
yeah.
we didn't have any clue about that. But Carfax, you've all heard about Carfax. Great service. I think everybody has used them at some time or another. Patrick Olson joins us. Pat, it's good to see you again, my friend.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, thank you. So what's the state of car sales? Now, I know that you guys generally are into used cars, and you do, and we'll get into all of that in a minute, but you also keep a close tab on what's happening in the new car market, don't you?
Absolutely. In fact, it was almost just about a year ago today that we launched new car listings on Carfax, but we've been watching new car trends for years and years. And it's an interesting time. There's more inventory than there's been since COVID, but still not as much as there was before COVID. So it can be a little dicey for both dealers and consumers out there.
Well, I got news actually just yesterday, that Stellantis, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, sales down 20% in the last quarter. Holy cow, what's going on there?
Well, one of the things that Stellantis did during COVID was they raised their prices more than their competitors did. And they had a lot of popular vehicles. They had Jeeps, very popular. Their Ram trucks do very well. But I think now as COVID has gone away and competitors have more options on the lot, they've become the expensive brands in the market. Well, now, to be fair, if you look at Stellantis vehicles, their interiors are terrific looking. They're very high quality. But today, there's so many shoppers looking for affordability, and I think they're on the other side of that fence.
Would they ever lower their prices? Let's just say for a Ram 1500, a high-end one, one $70,000, $80,000. Would the factory tell the dealer, hey, look, we know you got too many of them sitting on the lot. Would they ever say, we're going to have a fire sale, lower it by $10,000, we'll take the hit?
There are times when, I don't know about Stellantis specifically, but there are absolutely times when automakers decide that they've reached too far and they will cut a deal to dealers, for example, and tying it to sales, right? If you can sell X number, we'll give you a spiff of X thousands of dollars per extra vehicle that you sell. Because what the dealers don't want and what Stellantis ultimately doesn't want are too many cars sitting on lots. And so they will work with dealers to create incentives to try to get those things off. We see now even a lot more low interest financing. I think we're going to see more cashback rebates coming soon to get some of these vehicles off of the lots.
And isn't this the biggest sales season of the year typically?
Well, actually, the biggest sales season of the year is around tax day. So your March, April, May is usually the highest selling point of the year. A lot of people take their tax refund and make that their down payment on a car. So summers can be a little sleepier, and then as we get back into the fall and the end of the year, we'll see another bump in sales. So right now, it's a little harder for dealers to get people into the doors because they're worried about their vacation and hanging out with their kids.
Well, that and the fact that interest rates are sky high, prices of vehicles are sky high, EVs aren't really making it happen on the sales lots. Crossovers, they're the big thing. I mean, there's so many factors in play here.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting, you talk about EVs, Tesla sales are down, but everyone else who's not Tesla, their EV sales are way up to 20-30%. Used EVs, if you want an EV, and they're not for everybody, but if you want an EV, now is a great time to look into a used EV. They're down like 20-30% lower than internal combustion engine vehicles. And a part of that is because there's not a lot of infrastructure around to support them. But if you put a charger in home, they could be a great alternative.
Now, when you say EV, is it all electric EV that you're talking about, or some of the hybrids, some of the plug-in EVs? Because there's people that I know that have a Tesla. Come time for that battery to maybe be going out, or hey, keep an eye on it, they traded it or got rid of the vehicles and they went back to an ICE engine car. So I don't know, is that considered, or is that why?
Well, I think partly, I think that even now we're still with electric vehicles. And when I say EV, I mean pure electric. I think plug-in hybrids are a great sort of bridge between internal combustion to electric. But when I'm talking about EV, I mean pure electric. And, as I said, they certainly aren't for everybody. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people have discovered that the national level of infrastructure for charging is not where it needs to be, even with the something like 2.5-3 million EVs that are on the road today. And so that, I think, is turning a lot of people off to, I want to, like with a gas car, I can fill it up whenever I want, wherever I want. And that is not the case for a lot of electric vehicles.
Exactly.
So where do we stand with the used car market right now? Is it flooded? Is it weak? Do we have cars?
Well, we have more cars than we had a year ago, which is great. The downside, though, is back in 2021, in the second half of 2021, leasing kind of fell off the map. And leasing is great for used cars because you wind up with a lot of 3-year-old, maybe 4-year-old cars that come off of leases, and they are typically, they have been mileage throttled, if you will, by their lease deal. And so they have 20,000, 30,000 miles on them. They're usually in great shape. In a normal depreciation cycle, they're valued about 40 or 50% of the original price.
Wow.
Yeah, but now, because leasing almost came to a stop in the second half of 2021 because of supply chains and other issues, now there isn't that flood of cars coming into what we call the certified pre-owned world. And so there's not these high value, really desirable cars. And I think that's going to jack up prices in the next few months for used cars.
So how are things on Carfax? I mean, I have a used car. Let's just take my Corvette. No, it's too old. Let's use one, let's say a C7 Corvette that is from, 2021, and it's got 40,000 miles on it. Are there a lot of those cars being placed on Carfax?
Actually, we do see pretty good inventory from, and again, within the most recent year. So when we look at the last 3 model years, so 23, 22, 21, we've got really good representation on Carfax for that. And the beauty of Carfax, as you guys know, is that you can see how many owners has this had. So like that C7, is it on its first owner or third owner? And I would certainly want one that was on its first owner, someone who's going to baby it. We can tell you whether or not it was a rental car, which the Corvette likely is not. We can tell you if it's been serviced regularly. All these things that you really want to know before you're going to lay down, in the case of a C7, 50, 60 grand for that car.
Yeah. Let's talk about the service records of a car.
Yeah.
How do you find out about the service record of a car? Because I may take my car over to Joe Blow's 5 and dime oil change place. Is he going to report that?
Well, so we work with about 75% of all the service shops in the United States who report the work that they've done on cars to us. And the important thing here is we know about it at a VIN level. We don't know about it at a personal level. So we never get personal information. All we get is info about the metal, about the car.
Yeah.
But the beauty of that is, as an owner, you can point to those service records and to the next potential buyer and say, look, I kept up with this, and your car will be worth anywhere from a few $100s more to a couple $1,000s more than somebody who has no receipts for the work that they've had done. And of course, for buyers, having that sort of, health record for that car is crucially important in deciding, is this the right place to drop 50 grand, or is that the right place to drop 50 grand?
How far back in the records do you go on a car?
We go back to, in many cases, all the way back to the birth of VINs, right, which is 1981. We don't obviously have very many cars that are that old, but if it has a 17-digit VIN from this country, we'll have records on it.
Yeah, see, with Kylie's, we got the Carfax on Kylie's, my granddaughter's car, and it started out as a car for a company. It was a company car for some oil company. They sold it to an individual, and that individual traded it in and sold it back. So over the course of the car's life, the 10 years, it had two owners. Third now, because she owns it.
Yeah.
And how many miles did it have on it?
32,000.
32,000 miles. So that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And typically, company cars, to my knowledge, most company cars, they're taken care of. They get the oil changed. They get the recalls done and that sort of thing.
Well, and to that point, there were 2 open recalls on it because of Carfax notification, so she took care of those when she got the car. So it was all up and up.
Above board.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, I think the part about recalls these days is really important. We've been talking a lot here about Takata recalls. The recall is 10 years old from the first time that NHTSA talked about Takata airbags. Yet there are still more than 6.5 million cars, not airbags, cars nationwide that need these airbags out. There's nearly 800,000 in the state of Texas that need to get these airbags replaced. And so it's been 10 years, but clearly we in the automotive media are not making enough noise to get consumers to wake up and get those recalls taken care of.
What do you think the problem is there?
Well, in talking about his daughter's car, she's the third owner, and they had only found out about the recalls through Carfax. So I think there's a few things at play here. One, recall notices come by mail, which is nobody's primary means of communication anymore. Secondly, I think some people get a recall notice and they think it's some kind of extended warranty marketing scam, and they toss it aside. And then there are people who get it and they think, well, I'm going to get to this, and a few weeks go by, a few months go by, and they're like, you know what, nothing's happening in my car. I must be safe. And unfortunately, it's just not the case.
Well, and some of them, people look at it, my granddaughter's car has a recall on it, some issue with the radio. She doesn't use the radio, and I keep telling her about it. She keeps saying, I'm going to go get it fixed when I have time, but she uses her media device, her phone, ties into her audio system, so she really doesn't care if the radio ever gets fixed.
Well, a lot of times, that radio is the hub or the computer for the car, because on my pod in my Cadillac, everything runs through that. So if that pod goes out for whatever reason, you're losing other features of the vehicle, the radio, maybe your air conditioning, or maybe some light configurations on your dash.
Yeah.
Everything runs through that. The mainframe.
It's interesting you should say that because, sorry, Patrick, we're having a little discussion here. But,
No, you're good.
In my car, my Corvette, it doesn't run through the radio. It's got its own set of ways to get into the computer through a set of buttons over here right outside of the instrument panel. So there are different ways. But yes, I think that the radio originally was the way to get into or getting access to the car's computer.
Right.
Patrick?
Yeah, I think you guys are both right. That the approach has changed. The issue, though, is, as you all have pointed out, no one clearly knows the extent of the reach of that radio, right? So get the work done, whether you use that thing or not. I would say get the work done, because you don't know if there's some connection to a module that sets the air, for the passenger airbag notification.
Yep.
Does that come through there? I don't know. But
I agree with you.
I would not leave an open recall on any car I had, because one, it's going to affect your value when you go to sell it, and two, you just want to have complete peace of mind and get that work done.
So I want to sell my car. Do I list it on Carfax?
You cannot. So what we do, we only work with dealers. So dealers pay a subscription fee to us to list their inventory on Carfax. And when they do, they agree to provide the free Carfax report with that listing. So if I were you, I would find a broker or somebody. If we're talking about your Corvette again, a very specific car, I would treat that sale very differently than a Camry or a Malibu, for example.
Right. That's interesting. I did not know that. So the dealer is the real key there. So if I sell it to the dealer and I go look up the car on Carfax that I'm interested in, that's going to be through a dealer somewhere, and it's going to point me in that direction.
Absolutely. And the great thing about Carfax is we have millions of dealer ratings. So when people buy a car, when people send a lead to a dealership about a car, we'll ask those users to rate those dealerships. So we have, for any major dealership in your area, we'll have hundreds, if not thousands, of reviews that will tell you which are the ones that people love and which are the ones that people avoid.
I just find the whole thing, the way that Carfax has through the years done different things and gained popularity and has infiltrated our lives really in a good way. It's truly amazing.
Oh, it's our 40th year this year. So for us, it's a big year, but we are no longer just vehicle history reports. We are, used car listings. We're new car listings. We have our Car Care app where you can track all of the work you do on your car, get reminded when more work is done, totally for free. We are now throughout that whole life cycle. We're not just the last thing you do before you buy. We are now the app where we have the information you need for the entire cycle of that car. You can shop with us now, look at our reviews, look at our rankings, pick the car you want, find a local dealer, buy it, own it, maintain it over that time, get ready to sell it. You can use our Sell My Car feature, or you can, take it to a private party or dealership.
So essentially anything with a VIN number you can track.
Everything with a number we can track, yes. Although we don't do things like motorcycles.
I was going to say, boats, motorcycles.
Right. Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that. But primarily vehicles. Yep.
So if Don's 2001 Corvette, if you were talking about sending out notifications, is there a way he could register his Corvette so that you send him reminders, time to get your inspection or whatever?
Yep. My guess is that that Corvette is already in Carfax's hands, and they know that.
Well, let's just say,
and that's the beauty of our Car Care app is all you got to do is plug in the VIN, and there's no charge ever, and we will look and tell you what all you've had done, and we will allow you, if you are someone who changes oil yourself, you can put in there, here's my receipt from the oil I bought. It won't be on your vehicle history report, but it'll be in the app where you can show it to a potential buyer.
Okay.
And it will tell you your registration is coming due. It'll tell you it's time for a tire rotation. It'll tell you it's time for your 50,000 mile blah, blah, blah tune-up, right, with all the parts that are involved there.
Yeah. See, I can see Don takes very good care of his car, obviously, but I can see where somebody that might not pay as much attention to their car could definitely use something like that. Here's your reminder.
Right. I get my oil changed when it's got like 90% oil life left. I just don't drive it that much.
Wait a minute. I just thought of something here. All the stuff that I've helped you with, I should be Carfax.
Yeah,
I've done all kinds of stuff.
Jeff
in your car.
Fax. Yeah. Jeff Fax. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say Carfax is a registered trademark. So be
careful.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Exactly. Well, great information as always, and we thoroughly, really deeply appreciate all the information you got. We love Carfax. We're big fans, and thanks again, Carfax.com.
Thank you, guys. We really appreciate it.
Okay,
Patrick, you bet. Yeah, take care.
Good stuff.
It is good stuff. All right. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. Grab a podcast anytime from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000 square foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Hey, welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Jeff helped me. I have to tell this story. I don't think you even told
It was
the
2
story.
weeks ago.
2 weeks
yeah, because
ago.
I had we were going into the studio with band rehearsals that afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. So what I did was I'm putting the car away 3 weeks ago after going to Craig's Chrome and Coffee. We'll get to that.
You were talking, yeah.
And so I look up, and I have the protector in the front windshield, and then the car cover goes over that because I don't want the interior to get any kind of sun in there.
Sure.
And so I look up, and the visor, the passenger side visor, the light is on in the vanity mirror. Thinking, oh, wait just a minute.
Hold on.
I can't do that.
Simmer down.
So I thought, okay, I'm not dealing with this. I looked at it. It's the original one. It's, what is it, 23 years old up there. And so it's been sunshined all to death, and it's coming apart, and it's just a mess. So I thought, okay, well, I'll get on Amazon, see if I can find it. So I get 2 brand new left and right side vanity mirrors and sunshades, right, for the Corvette. You want to guess how much?
Under 100.
Probably not a lot under 100, but yeah, maybe
$37 delivered to my front door.
For the whole thing?
For the pair?
2 of them for the pair. And they look factory brand new with LED lights for the vanity mirror. I got one of them in. The other one I had a little trouble with. Jeff helped me with that. We got that in. So I got 2.
Jeff Fax?
Yeah.
What's that?
Jeff Fax?
Yeah, Jeff.
Jeff Fax.
I was going to band rehearsal that afternoon. We're going to the studio, and the bat phone was ringing. Beep, beep, beep. To answer. Hey, what are you doing? Just packing up, doing stuff. We need some help. Okay, bring it on by. So it took maybe, 30 minutes, if that?
Oh.
It took you longer to get to my house than it did to...
Correct. Yeah. It was a very simple process, and I got 2 new sun visors up in the Corvette now for $37.
Yeah, that's the great part.
I know. And I looked, and I just bought the cheapest pair because they were all the same. They were all listed as the same with the LED lights and all
they're
that
cool.
stuff.
With the LED on it, it does look, looks different. Yeah.
So now, when I move the sunshade, the light doesn't come on anymore.
Yeah.
Only when you open the little door for the vanity
When
mirror.
you want it to come on.
Yeah, exactly.
on
Time now
your
for the cruise-in calendar.
Yeah, today, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. tonight, weather permitting, Conrail Cruisers Saturday night cruise. It's the Kroger Marketplace parking lot at 341 South Loop, 336 West in Conroe. Also, again, tonight, not very far from there, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., also is the weekly cruise in Montgomery, Texas. That's at 943 Ava Street in Montgomery. Check them out. Tomorrow, big one tomorrow, Don. We've got the usual first Sunday of the month.
Chrome and Coffee.
Chrome and Coffee tomorrow, 8 a.m. till, is it 8 till 11?
It's 9 to noon.
9 to noon. See, I messed that up.
At Avalon Diner.
Yep. Good breakfast, so you can go there and take a look at the cars and go have a bite to eat as well. But tomorrow at 10 a.m., the Torqued Houston Cars and Coffee at Nose Cafe at 2120 Spring Stubner in Spring, Texas. 3 p.m. tomorrow, the weekly car meetup in where? Willis. At the,
what you talking about, Willis?
At the D&M True Value at 400 West Montgomery Street in Willis. 3 to 8, you've got the Houston Rodeo 249 Sports Bar and Grill bass meet. So it's all about the audio and all the bass boom and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's tomorrow.
You know
as well.
about that, Mars.
The boomer.
You got that going.
Well, I used to actually covered a couple of those events, competition of events, when I was doing some freelance work.
Yep.
And it's really interesting to see how some of these guys, there was a team that came up from Mexico. They literally had their windshield bolted on. They had drilled through the windshield and put bolts, siliconed it in, and put bolts to keep it from vibrating, because that's what ruined their measurements and stuff. I mean, these guys get seriously silly about that.
It's the bass show tomorrow from 3 to 8.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
General Motors will pay $145.8 million penalty for a federal investigation because it found in that investigation excess emissions from about 5.9 million GM vehicles, according to U.S. regulatory agencies. The EPA said GM has agreed to give up about 50 million metric tons in carbon allowances after the multi-year investigation found vehicles from 2012 to 2018 model years were emitting more than 10% higher carbon dioxide on average than GM's initial compliance reports claimed. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration separately said GM will pay $145.8 million in penalties for fuel economy compliance issues and cancel more than 30.6 million fuel economy credits for the 2008 to 2010 model years to resolve the issues identified by EPA's light-duty vehicle in-use testing program. Shame, shame, shame.
What is a credit? I don't know. I need credit.
I don't know, but money and credit apparently is the big
same thing. Yeah.
And former used car retailer Vroom, which, bought Texas Direct Auto down on 59, agreed to pay $1 million to settle claims levied by the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, that it misrepresented inspection work done on vehicles it sold, failed to offer consumers timely refunds when it did not deliver vehicles on schedule, and did not make certain other required disclosures. In a July 2nd complaint, the FTC alleged Vroom violated 3 of its rules that lay out regulations for automotive sales or online marketing practices. The agency proposed the $1 million payment from Vroom to reimburse customers it said were affected. It filed both the complaint and settlement agreement in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Texas. Vroom CEO Thomas Short signed the proposed settlement agreement, which also stipulates that Vroom document claims about vehicle shipping time commitments it makes to consumers.
$1 million is not a lot of money compared to what they did to everybody.
Vroom of Houston shut down its online used vehicles operation earlier this year because they're insolvent and they're obviously
not around.
They're not around anymore.
And the place is huge. That was the original AutoNation when AutoNation came to Texas.
Yep.
I was a team leader in that spot, in that building. Made a lot of
enemies.
No. Good career choices and things through AutoNation. It was good.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Yep.
Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. More of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show after this.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's and other locations location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It's on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
Welcome to the N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, AJ Loop with Space City Corvettes talks about a road trip to Kentucky. Jeff has this week's racing calendar, and Mr. Mars offers a review of the 2025 Ram 1500. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars down there. We always need more Jeff Zekin right here. I'm Don Armstrong right here. Glad that you could join us. Our IT Director of Engineering, David Ainsley, is in the Yooper. He's a Yooper boy in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Absolutely beautiful place.
49-degree mornings, 62-degree evenings.
Yeah. Wonder what that is about January 20th. The weather report from up there in January.
Well, that's why he's down here in January.
No, but what is it like up there?
Oh, we don't know because no one's up there. They all leave.
Pretty much.
Yeah, don't
they all
they
leave.
snow and close down the bridge?
Well, the people that do the tours, like the Painted Rocks, and they take the boats and the cruises and all that, they pack up and they go south.
The lake freezes over.
Well, yeah, most of it. In fact, that lake only changes 4-degree temperature winter, summer, because it's so vast. It's huge. But yeah, the people that do all that, they say we've got other businesses in warmer states during the winter. So if you're a boat captain and you're doing something down there, you're a boat captain down in Florida.
Well, it's funny because David's got a friend that lives not that far from him, and they are year-rounders, which is rare, because in the wintertime they can't take the boat because the lake is frozen. So they have these things that they take to work across the frozen lake to get to their job. Think about that for a minute.
I'm kind of thinking, I'm going to go across the lake walking on ice.
No, not walking.
It's a snowmobile.
Yeah, I'm going to get on a 2,000-pound machine.
I know that's
the
nothing.
ice is thick.
Yeah.
It's thicker than what you put in your glass.
We used to go skating on the river there in Waukesha, Wisconsin. It was thick enough. And if it got too thin, they would put cones up. You can't go back over there.
Or you just hear it cracking before you fall in.
Yeah, that did. AJ Loop with Space City Corvette Club, and it looks as though they've got the mother trip coming up. AJ, it's good to talk to you. Good to see you, my friend.
Great seeing you guys. Great talking to you guys. Y'all been doing okay?
We're doing good. Good. So I want to know about this trip to the mothership.
It will be the 30th anniversary of the opening of the National Corvette Museum. They do this caravan once every 5 years. So this will be celebrating the 30th anniversary of the opening of the National Corvette Museum. And it'll take place on August 29th through 31st. And it's a pretty neat deal. I did it in 2014, and the Gulf Coast region at the time ended up with 450 Corvettes.
Oh, my God.
Just in the Gulf Coast region.
Yeah.
That's roughly 8 miles of cars on the road. And if you've ever seen Smokey and the Bandit, toward the end when they got the banners over the freeways saying, go Bandit, they had people on freeways on the overpass with signs that said, "Welcome Caravan." We had helicopters, police escorts on and off the freeway. They had Corvette specialists that would work on cars, maintenance-wise, along the entire route, just in case something happened to one of the cars. But the logistics and the planning of all that is just amazing. Glenn Johnson with Tri-City Corvette Club was the road captain 10 years ago. To this day, I still thank him for all the planning. It took him about 5 years to plan.
So what do? You visit him in the hospital now?
Man, I tell you, he is still at it. Bless his heart. And, man.
All I can think. Yeah. So it's a 3-day event, is what you're saying.
It's a 3-day event, but depending on which caravan you go up with, it could be a week. It could be, some of them like just want to get in the car and all butt up there. But I can tell you, so there's no real organized caravan from Houston, but there are 2 Texas caravans, and that would be the South Central Texas caravan and then the Texas Panhandle caravan. So the best thing to do is go on to the National Corvette Museum website, look to see what state you're in to determine what's best fit for you. And then there's other people, like clubs, that are going to do a little bit different route, to get there. But they'll have 8,000 to 10,000 Corvettes at the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green.
I wish I had
Talk about a parking lot.
I wish I had the vendor license for the parking lot. This $5 a car would be just fine. The old soupy sales thing. Hey, kids, send me $1.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't know anything about that, but whatever. Yeah.
So basically, if you, I guess South Central, that'd be San Antonio, Austin, that kind of part of the world. But you could look at Oklahoma maybe or right. Louisiana even.
Now, wait just a minute. See, you're thinking way too far in advance. I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Houston's a much larger place than any of these other places. I'm sure that you guys have got some sort of a Houston troop that is going to meet the Central Texas guys maybe in Texarkana or something.
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm asking.
What we're doing?
You talking to you?
Talking to me.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
To me.
Hey.
Hey, we're friends and everything, but what we're doing, I'm not going to tell you.
Because you don't want the word to get out.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, because a lot of them are meeting up in Texarkana from what I read on the website. In Houston, not Houston, but the South Central and the Panhandle, like you're talking about, they end up in Texarkana for the first night, and then they move on from there.
Yeah, that route sounds like a blast to me, from what I've heard. I have some friends of mine that are going on that route. We're taking a little bit different route to get there, which I'm looking forward to. It's going to be nice. It's going to be a little bit more. It'll take us, I think, 4 days to get up there. So it's different.
Taking the scenic route.
Well, it must be nice to be rich and be able to take all this time off in your car and doing all those kinds of things.
Well, I am sorry that you're confused about that. The rich thing, just fortunate that I'm able to take the time off to go do that.
Yeah, working hard.
But it is a blast. I can tell you something that y'all may not be aware of. They did make a 30th anniversary, the National Corvette Museum 30th anniversary Z06 convertible that they're going to raffle off.
Nice.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
You know,
you have to be present to win.
Yeah, I can only imagine the line to the bathroom. When you got 8,000 Corvettes.
Yeah, Don's age, these things are important.
Yeah, and what they're doing this year on the way in, they're going to, the way that the traffic will come in when you get there, you'll be able to go around the plant and then go to the stoplight. And I have the stoplight shut off, obviously, and then bring you into the museum, into the, down 350 Corvette Drive. It's kind of neat. As you're coming in, you get to go around the plant, around the road around the plant, and then get to go across the street. So it's kind of neat how they're going to bring us in there.
I can only imagine the logistics in trying to get 8,000 cars of any kind, much less picky Corvette owners that don't touch my car.
Coming in from different areas of the country, got different ideas. Yeah.
It sounds like a great time. I can only imagine the walk through the display field of all the cars. It'd take you 2 days just to see them all.
Oh, at least.
Well, it's almost like a car show outside the museum.
Yeah.
Not to discredit going inside the museum. Then you've got all the different displays they've done over the years. They've really amped up and really done a great job with some of their exhibits, like the Love Fair and the Spear, where the sinkhole was. In June 30th of last year on Corvette Day, they unveiled, it was called America's Love Affair, and they made all that like video screens all throughout on the bottom. They just made that room come to life. Because before it was neat, but it was a little boring. Not now. It's amazing what they've done. And then this past year, we celebrated the 71st birthday of the Corvette. We were out at Garage Ultimate. All the 7 Corvette clubs came together, and we had 302 cars out there. National Corvette Museum store came in, and we had Kerry Rich and Lexi Stewart. So, as a matter of fact, I'm wearing one of the hats from the National Corvette Museum.
Nice hat, yeah.
Thank you. I saw that. I'm like, red, white, blue. 4th of July coming up. I got to get it.
Absolutely.
And I bought a bunch of other stuff that I didn't need. But it was great. And we ended up raising $12,318 for the National Corvette Museum.
Nice.
Very nice. You know, it's every time I talk to you, I don't know whether to love you or to hate you because it's like I remember the Corvette Club days. I haven't been a member of a Corvette Club a long, long time, but those are the fun things that we used to do back in the day. And you know, you're in touch with your other Corvette friends, and boy, it just sounds. It speaks to me, as it were.
Oh, good. Yeah. I wish I probably should have, I guess, called y'all.
Yeah, you should have, but I wasn't going to bring that up.
Yeah, it was on a Sunday, too, so you didn't have the radio show, and it was from 10 to 2, and it was hot, needless to say, but thank God a lot of the people that own garages, I mean, if you ever saw some of these garages, at Garage Ultimate here in Friendswood, that live in them, they're amazing.
Yeah. Yes, we know a couple of the people that actually build and sell those garages.
Yeah.
We've been down that road. It's beautiful.
Man cave.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. So they open them up so we speak out of the heat inside the AC, and a lot of people catered it. They had fruit kebabs, cookies, brownies, chips, lots of water and drinks, and then the clubhouse had the National Corvette Museum store, and they sold a ton of their items, which was good. And it was just a great day, but a great day because we got together, celebrated, and united all the 7 Corvette clubs. I think that was great. We had Sam Houston, San Jacinto, we had Coach, we had NACC, we had Accelerate Vets, Northwest Vets and Rides, and Space City Corvette Club. And we had 302 cars out there.
302,
and,
wow.
Space City Corvette Club had 91 of those 302. I got to do a little bragging on us.
Yeah. Let's talk about your twice-a-year event. I assume that's coming up in the fall?
Yes, sir. October 12th, we have our 12th annual Good Grub and Gears Fall Car Show. It'll be in Stevenson's Park in Friendswood, and that's an open-class car show, so we want to see everything that day. Lincolns, Pontiacs, Jeeps.
Is that a Saturday or a Sunday?
It's on a Saturday. That's the one you came out to.
Yes. Last year? Yeah. It was a great car show. It's underneath all the trees and every kind of car that you could possibly imagine, not just Corvettes. And I really like the variety. That show pulls in cars from really all over the area. It's a very well done show, I think.
Thank you. We greatly appreciate that. We'll have our major sponsor out on there again, Bayway Chevrolet, Electric Eye Customs, and we'll have Gulf Stick Trucking as our major sponsors. They'll be there. We'll have Cole Helping Hand. They'll be doing our food. We had 253 cars there last year. We raised $100,000 with Tim Miller and Texas Equisearch. So far from the spring car show, we had 160 plus Corvettes there, Corvettes only, and we raised $40,000 for Tim. So we're ahead of last year's total on that. So good Lord willing, with good weather, will be like ants to a picnic.
So is there an entry fee? I assume there is.
Well, for you guys, it'll be double, but for the I think it's going to be, if I remember right, it's 45. Don't quote me. It's either 40 or 45. I can't remember. I haven't seen the flyer.
We'll go with 45.
So what's the name of the show?
It's the Good Grub and Gears Fall Car Show.
Good Grub and Gears.
Good Grub and Gears.
And is it already listed on Facebook or someplace where everybody can go?
Well, so we haven't opened up the registration yet. We're about to do that this week. But if you go to, I'll tell you to go to SpaceCityCorvetteClub.com.
Okay.
But what we did do last year is because we have a cash match, all cash donations that are made, our club will match them up to $20,000. So we started sending people to sccc.info. And what I can do is I can let you guys know either way.
You better.
Yes, sir. I will. I'll send you the flyer. I'll send you the where we're going to go to registration. But I'm pretty confident at this point it's going to be SpaceCityCorvetteClub.com. We've been blessed to be on Fox News a couple of times and make it short while we're on air. It's sccc.info, and it's just one page. It's like a splash page that you can go make a registration, a donation, and everything's right there. Instead of trying to go to our website.
He's heading up the end of August to do that. Maybe we can get it back on a Zoom call up there at the end of August. Have him chime back in.
Yeah, well, generally he also comes out over to Woody's, like the week.
Yeah, I'm
saying from the museum. His trip up to the museum.
Yeah.
Get him.
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
Okay, well, we'll depend on that. Mr. Marr's making a note of that. So don't play hooky.
Yes, sir.
Well, listen, man, it's great to talk to you. Get caught up. So August 29th through the 31st is the big Corvette caravan to the mothership in Bowling Green. I can imagine what it's like. What do you got to go about 50 miles outside of Bowling Green to find a motel room somewhere?
Well, actually, the hardest part of this whole entire deal is finding a room in Bowling Green or on the outskirts. Luckily, I've got one in Bowling Green, so I'm blessed. I'm staying at the Embassy Suites. If you ever go to Bowling Green, the place to stay in Bowling Green is the Embassy Suites.
All right.
It's all car related, Corvette. It's new. It's probably been open less than 2 years. It's fantastic.
Well, if we go, you're going to get the phone call. Can I bring my sleeping bag and put it on your room floor?
Yeah, I got no place to stay.
That's right. And then October the 12th, Saturday, October the 12th, Stevenson Park in Friendswood.
Yes, sir.
Good Grub and Gears car show. It's a cruise in.
Yes, sir.
Is it a judged cruise in?
It's a judge show. We have, I think, it's nearly 50 classes. And last year we had 253 cars out there.
Very nice.
So
well,
hopefully, we're not competing against cars and guitars this year. So I'm going to imagine we have a good shot at cracking 300 this year.
Well, good luck to you. AJ, it's great to talk to you, my friend. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
appreciate it. Y'all be good.
Yeah, we'll
travel safe.
Look forward to hearing from you next month.
You bet.
Yes, sir. Y'all take care in the meantime. Thank you.
Thank you, too. Space City Corvette Club. All right, let's take a little break, shall we? Like good break. 4th of July leftovers, you can get the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. The podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will continue after this brief break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Welcome back to In Wheel Time, the car talk show that you love like no other. Because there are none that can compare to this one.
No.
It's definitely...
And we need the love.
We always need the love. All right, time now for the racing calendar, sponsored by Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
Thank you, Texas Muscle Car. We got NASCAR tomorrow. It is on the streets of Chicago road course. It is at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which Central Time is 3:30. It is going to be on NBC, Mike, and tickets are available.
Speaking of that, did you see or hear that Michael Andretti's thinking about getting into NHRA drag racing?
Yeah, I told you that like 3 weeks ago.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, well...
Yeah, it was in passing, but I'm keeping up with the guy. Yeah, and I haven't given you any reports
because
lately.
I guess he's doing this in retaliation because Formula One won't let him in.
No, they're going into Formula One, and they're gonna kick the door down when they do it.
But that's it's not official.
Well, no, not official. But last week, Mercedes won, and Toto, the guy that's in charge.
The group Toto?
No, the guy's name is Toto. He's walking around like a big old peacock because his team won, first win he's had in 3 years, so something like that.
Toto.
Yeah. Anyways, don't like the guy.
It's kind of like Tata.
Speaking of which, Formula One is in Qatar. They're doing the Qatar British Grand Prix. The practice was going from the 5th all the way through tomorrow, and then to the races tomorrow. NHRA is off. They're going to be... on the 14th. We're off until the 14th on the NHRA, and don't know where they're going to be running after that because it's to be determined. Indy is running tomorrow at their Mid-Ohio. IMSA is off tomorrow, so enjoy the racing schedule. If you're going to be rained out with anything, just turn on the TV and watch racing.
You know, it's funny that you would think that every racing organization would have an event this weekend. You'd think, but they don't.
Well, it's
July 4th weekend.
4th weekend, yeah, and...
I mean, everybody's off looking for something to do other than the fireworks, and they could do that too.
They could do it.
All right. Mr. Mars, it's time for a car review, and actually, it's not time for a car review. It's time for a truck review, the 2025 Ram 1500.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and this year, for the 25, they have a new trim level called the Tungsten. So the Ram 1500 actually comes in 9 different trim levels. And we happen to have, it starts at the Bighorn down at the bottom. It goes all the way up again. The Tungsten is the new top trim level. 4x4. And it is a full-size pickup. 4-door crew cab. You can get, the 1500, you can actually get 2 different bed lengths. But this is the 5-passenger luxury model. Now, on the exterior of it, you're going to find all kinds of things like the retracting door steps. You got the chrome mirrors, the folding, electric folding, heated mirrors, rolling on some nice 22-inch wheels, and had some really nice ivory white paint on it that just really stands out in the bright sunshine. It really looks good. So you get to the inside of it, and you're going to see that they stepped up. They already had a really nice interior. They were known for the luxury interiors on their trucks, but this goes a step further. Leather seating, of course. Front and the rear seats are heated and ventilated.
Wow.
Now, the thing I really liked about the back of it, the rear seat area, the rear passenger area, it's got a flat floor in it. And it makes it a whole lot easier to put stuff back there. It makes it a whole lot easier to reach back behind the seat and move something around. But you really look at it and you raise the seat up, and you could do a lot of things back there with that flat floor.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that was great, it comes standard with a 14.5-inch center stack screen. Now, this is the big tall one that you can do all kinds of things with, split it, and make multi-screens out of it. You're going to find all your convenience controls there, your nav, even your camera selection for your front and rear cameras. And also up front on the interior, you're going to find that it has the the front passenger screen interactive that they can use to get into it and do some things with it instead of messing with the center stack. And we had the digital rear view mirror, which is the camera shows up there, and you get your surround view and everything there. Also has the heads-up display and a 23-speaker sound system. Now, the Tungsten logo, I will say, it's got a real nice interior. At the top of the console, Ram's been known to put the Tungsten logo up there, or logos up there. This one, they put a Tungsten logo up there. Big, nice belt buckle looking thing that's got the VIN number on it. Very nice. Looks very nice. But if you leave it out in the driveway all day in the sun, do not lay your arm on top of that thing, or you will be a Tungsten fanboy from now on. Now, you get up there under the hood. So this is their new engine lineup, and it's a 6-cylinder, and in the work truck you can get a V6, but other than that, you're looking at a straight 6. So we had the 3.0.
What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that.
No, wait till you hear.
Straight 6 engine. I love those.
Well, particularly these 3.0 liter. We had the straight 6 high output version. There's two different versions. So we had 540 horses, 521 pound-feet of torque out of this straight 6. So it's backed by an 8-speed automatic transmission. So there is more than enough power there. In fact, there's so much power, the haul rating on this truck, as it came, was 2,300 pounds, and it will tow 11,580 pounds. So it's not quite as much as some of the others, but it's more than the average person is going to ever tow with a half-ton truck. Now, the EPA says you should be looking for around 17 miles to the gallon combined on this vehicle. Well, I drove it 312 miles, and I got 15.9. It is a lot of fun to drive. I had a lot of time inside the city. About a third of my mileage was inside the city. So you could probably do a little bit better than that if you drove it more like Don does. Now, the ride and drive on this vehicle, I got out of the 2015 Ram truck that we used for the show. And I like driving it. It drives very good. It's got a sweet spot on the speed and everything. But I got into this one with the coil spring suspension, the air ride, the nice seats on it, the glass that dampens the sound, and it was so quiet. I was surprised at how much difference there was between a truck I liked and this truck that I got into that I fell in love with because of the way it rode, the way it handled, the things it would do. You could lower it to get in and out if you wanted to. There was just a lot of things on this truck I really liked. Now, the base model price for the new 1500 for the tradesman is $45,020. Base trim price on the Tungsten is $89,070.
Wow.
Now, the MSRP as tested, $91,085.
Oh, my God.
Now, you put that up against some of the others. If you looking at base price of the top trim levels, Ford F-150, the Platinum's up around $73,800. And this is 24 pricing. They haven't got their 25 pricing that I could find. The 24 Chevy Silverado, the High Country, is $66,500 to start. The 24 GMC Denali at $72,395 for the Sierra. So base starting, the base price on this Tungsten is a little bit higher than the others, but it's got lots of stuff in it. It's a really nice truck if you're looking for something that's more of a luxury family truck instead of a work truck.
$91,000.
I like it. It's a big truck.
Big, nice truck. And like I say, with that flat flat floor in the back. Mm-hmm. You can pull it up. You can put a bunch of cargo in there, a bunch of stuff in there.
Bunch of kids with a mattress.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. You could do that too.
Music equipment.
So
Or
that's
just
my
music.
report of the 2025
Right.
Ram 1500 Tungsten.
Thank you. If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. And be sure to follow us on Facebook. We are back after these quick messages.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
Welcome to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Ahead, Ken Huning with Cover Seal Car Covers.
Right.
Later, Jeff has this week's Motor Minute, and I'll have the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. IT genius David Ainsley is in the UP of Michigan.
Don't go that far.
And I'm Don Armstrong. I'm nothing, but thank you for being with us anyway. Can't help myself, you know.
Yeah.
Giving out titles, we've got to give him credit.
I was talking about David's.
That's what I was talking
Genius,
about.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I have to tell you the story of the car cover. So
Okay.
we were taking up what was at one time the garage of the house that live in. This is now our studio. So the Corvette would typically be inside. Well, I've been here now for 6 years, and it's been outside the entire time, so I've had to resort to car covers.
And you've been to a few.
And I've had two up to this point. Mm-hmm. And the first one wasn't worth a hoot. The second one actually was pretty good. And of course, you know, I've got tree branches that sometimes fall down on it and put a nick in it and that sort of stuff. And the biggest problem with the last one was the fact that it's got this elastic trim on it, kind of like your Sansa-Belt pants, Mars.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And so it's got elastic trim on it and you know, holds your pants up. Well, this kind of holds the bottom edge of the car cover around the Corvette. Up until about a year ago, it worked fine. Now, it's only a couple of years old. Well, I guess the elastic, like your belly, Mars, is kind of swelled up and it's gotten kind of loose, okay? And now, if we get a strong wind, wind will get up underneath this thing. It'll blow it right off in the middle of a rainstorm, right? And I'm out there going, okay, well, I can't put it on this way. So I just have to wait till it's all over with. The car's covered with everything, you know, all the leaves, all the rain, all the ugly stuff that I try to keep off of it. Well, we were approached by this company called Cover Seal Car Covers, and it's a different kind of car cover. Okay, I'll give that a shot. And I did. And, like anything different at my age, it's like, I don't like this. Well, I didn't say that about this. I've given it now about a month. And I have to tell you that it is working just fine, and it's very different. And it seems as though we have the head of the company, Ken Huning, with Cover Seal Car Covers on the line with us. Hey, Ken, good morning, and thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Well, we appreciate it, and I hope you got to hear the lead-in to to your stuff. And you know what I'm talking about, since this is your company. You've developed a car cover that's different than Mr. Mars Sansabelt pants with the elastic strip around the bottom of it.
Sure.
And so I will tell you that we've had a couple of storms blow through, and my God, this car cover didn't blow off. It's truly amazing.
It's designed
so
to stay on.
I'm going to let you explain to everybody exactly what it is that makes it different.
Well, thanks for the lead-in. That was really gracious of you. Myself, an avid car collector, I just took out my C1 Corvette this morning, and
Nice.
Yeah, it's really fun. I developed these car covers not because I wanted to get into the car cover business, but because, like most people with their classic cars, they sit in the garages for a good period of time, a lot of times in the winter. And I found rodents in my cars. I had my i8 got eaten by twice by rodents to the tune of about $25,000 in damage.
Oh my God! Yes.
They got the wiring harnesses, and so I was looking for a way to keep the rodents out. And I tried the traps, the Irish Spring flakes, the cat pee spray, the noise makers. There's a couple other solutions out there, but they're really cumbersome to get in and out of, so I never really took my car in and out of them. Some of these zipper bags that you can get in with the cars.
Yep.
So I got to thinking, and I'm an electrical engineer. I didn't know anything about textiles and such, and so I started thinking, and by the way, I've learned a lot about textiles in the last couple of years. So we created Cover Seal, which has got the weighted bottom, which is also waterproof, so having the fabric sit on the ground doesn't rot. And what the weighted bottom does is it has about 3 really good features to it. The first that you've described is that it doesn't blow off, because the wind can't get underneath the cover and parachute it, so you don't need the cups that go on the side to hold on to the mirrors. It also keeps rodents out. So the rodents don't want to stay around. They know they're on the menu. So they stop, look, smell, go. Stop, look, smell, go. And you can see them just moving around. We don't provide an ingress path for them to be able to get under the car and sit into the little nooks and crannies. My i8 has been out where it was eaten twice for the last 4 years with nary a nibble. And but there's nothing more disappointing. You're going to go to a car show and you see rodent poop or pee spray kind of on your car, and you kind of know that they're there, right?
Yes.
The third thing that does is that because it's sealed to the ground, it doesn't let dust in. So a buddy of mine had his Porsche that he had detailed, went overseas for about 4 months, came back, was expecting to have to detail the car, et cetera, like he's used to. Well, he pulls it off and there's no dust on it. The car is just like where he left it. And when you have a leaf blower going around in your neighborhood, or your landscapers are doing it, it blows dust underneath the cover, which then settles back on the car.
Yes.
That doesn't happen. So those are the 4 benefits. I love cars. I think they're art on wheels, and that's what we developed, and we've been. It's something different.
Well, it's for lack of a better term, and correct me if I'm wrong, I just call it a weighted car cover. So it's got weights in it. I thought, and I didn't know what to expect when I opened the box. And I thought, my God, this thing weighs 1 jillion pounds. Not too much, not so much that I can't get it off or maneuver it around, but it's twice as heavy at least
it's heavier than
any of the other car covers.
Yeah.
And so that once I pull it out, I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. It's got weights in the bottom of it. Long tubular weights that are sewn into the bottom fabric, which is a different color than the rest of the car. Mm-hmm. And it works. And I'm thinking, I like this. I took the car cover off after 2 weeks sitting out there, and I'm going to be your best salesman here. I was shocked and surprised because with the other car covers, you're exactly right. It blows up all of the dust, and then it settles, and then we have a rain, and the rain gets there, and I might as well just take it out and drive it down a dirt road.
I know.
And I don't have that issue anymore. It's absolutely fabulous. I love it.
It's worked out pretty good. There's a lot of sort of retraining that we have to do of the populace because our car covers are made to sit on the ground, which is kind of interesting. So when it's heavy, what you do is you roll it out next to the car, and then you just pick up half of it and put a part of it on the hood, a part of it on the roof, a part of it on the trunk. And unlike different covers, you remember how you have to do that race where you put it on the hood and they have to run around to the back side of it?
Yeah.
And it flies off, and then you're doing, well, ours doesn't. So then you go around the other side because it's still there, and you pull the edge and you pull it over the car, and then the weight drops it to the ground. So it turns out if you do it that way, it's one of the easiest car covers to deploy.
Well, not only that, but it also encases the side view mirrors on it and any other accoutrement that you've put on there. And even the wheels don't get dirty like they used to.
Well, that's what he was saying, the dusting. Exactly. And the thing that Don mentioned, and it triggered me, where he said it's like a weighted blanket. Now, people use weighted blankets for comfort in their home.
Yeah.
They use weighted things, comforters, blankets, as a protection. That's basically what this is. Now, we've got your website up on our computer here, and while you're talking, I'm going to plug you in and go through that while you're talking. Go ahead.
Okay.
So at any rate, I didn't really know what to expect. I thought, well, they've sent me the wrong size. That was the first thing that came to mind. I'm thinking, well, this doesn't fit. And yes, it does, because the label on the outside of the box said C5 Corvette. But it's made to lay on the ground where the weights are. And it kind of took me back because you're not used to that.
No. One of the things that I wrestled with when I was developing these things is the fitted cover. And I've had problems two different ways. There is a type of Kimberly-Clark fabric that degrades over time and leaves that huge dust layer as it's decomposing. So we made ours deliberately loose fitting, and the reason why is because they blow in the wind. And when it does that, those dust and debris and things that turn into big algae pools on your car blow off. So it's kind of a self-cleaning methodology by allowing a loose fit onto the car, and it also helps prevent mold and mildew that comes in because you're not keeping the moisture directly on the paint, which also prevents oxidation. And we used to have those car bras, remember back in the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
We would have on our trucks.
Yeah.
I left mine in out when it was raining, and I ended up getting my paint oxidized because the waterproof, and there's waterproof car covers out there, but the waterproof trapped the moisture between the car cover and the car and oxidized the paint, and that was a bad thing.
Yeah, well, I also noticed that there are a couple of vents. They're covered vents up there on the windows, so the rain rolls off because the vent portion of it is actually from the bottom side of the vent. Yeah, and that works well.
Yes, no, that was another addition. So I've been evolving these things. We started out with different fabric choices. Like I said, I learned a lot about fabrics. Polyesters, acrylics, rayons, and nylons. Polyester is the best out there. It lasts the longest. It's got great sun durability. The reason for the silver and the black is a PVC impregnated 600 denier fabric. I mean, I won't say it's like Kevlar, but it's really strong. It's like what's in backpacks and tennis shoes and such.
Right.
The top is a softer DWR 420D polyester. And what you notice is that little football pattern.
Yes.
That's a ripstop pattern. So if you ever poke a hole in it, people do. They snag it on stuff. I do. I mean, I use them. They're all over my cars. And it won't propagate a rip through the cover. So you can seal up the hole then with, a good piece of Gorilla duct tape or something similar if need be. But it's meant to kind of create durability and protection for your outdoor asset, with car, patio, barbecue, truck, SUV.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you that, like I said before, that I was kind of like, do do I like this? I didn't naysay it right out of the box. And once I got it on there and understood all of the stuff that goes on with the weight that lays on the ground, the material, the ease of it getting on and off of the car, it all just works for me. Now, granted, it is not one of those Mr. Mars Sansa type things. But that's clearly what most of the market is when it comes to car covers.
Well,
and that's not to put them down. I mean, all I'm saying is that there's a time and a place for everything. This car cover works for me.
Well, and I like the way that it does look a little bigger, a little looser fitting, if you will. But, you know, if you've got one of those form-fitted ones and you lower the car a little bit, maybe shorter tires or do anything like that, there's no compensation for it. This, to me, looks like it's got some compensation to it going up or down a little bit. You still got a very usable, functional cover.
Now, Patrick, tell me if I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing, because what I've learned is that if I have the bottoms out, spread out away from the car, but the weight's out there, it'll collect. I'm sorry, did I say a wrong name? It's Ken. I'm sorry. That the weight will hold the water. Right? So what I did is I just kicked them underneath. Is that something that you do?
Sometimes, you know, what's kind of funny is by letting the water pool on there, you get even a better seal.
Yeah,
So
yeah, clearly.
That's true.
when it ends up blowing in the wind, it eventually sheds that water. But that's 600 denier PVC impregnated fabric. And so that water's not going to do anything. It's just going to sit there and pool. We think it's like dangerous, but it actually does a nice job sealing everything out.
Where do you live, Ken?
Well, I split my time between Northern California and Los Gatos, and I'm sitting in my house right now in Clemens. It's an old Reynolds 100-year-old house that I'm restoring. It's kind of fun. I like projects.
Well, so here in Houston, Texas, we have 100% humidity and rain. It's kind of like living in the rainforest, and we have a thing called mosquitoes here. And so if I let that water stay down there, it's a mosquito breeding thing. So I found out that I just kick it underneath the car, and it works just fine. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
I should tell you about one of our new deployments that we're having. So this hail issue has become prominent. And one of the things, because we seal to the ground, we're having the ability to integrate a fan, a 600 CFM fan in the apron. And so you can take it on and off with a little Velcro seal. That'll blow up the car cover and turn it into an airbag for your car.
Cool.
An air cushion.
I know.
It's sealed to the ground. So the amount of air that escapes from underneath is not sufficient to keep it from deflating. So I took a big rock that was about the size of a baseball, and admittedly I did it without a car under the cover first. I wasn't that confident.
Right.
Threw it at the thing, boom. It dissipated. It maybe penetrated about a half inch, but the cover is all blown up looking like, a hot dog. And then I did it with a car and tried to measure any impact force onto the car. None. So it's one of those things that we're looking to deploy, and that gives us an opportunity to innovate. So what we've done in over covers that have been out there for 30 years is we've innovated. Think of what innovation have you seen in car covers?
You know what's going to happen, don't you? All of those car companies are going to go, oh, he's got something there. We're going to offer this as our premium car cover now. They're going to steal it.
Well, they have to get by the patents. So,
good for you.
We've got 2 patents on them. They just got awarded. And so that's going to be kind of interesting if they attempt, Yeah.
So where do we send our viewers, our listeners, to get more information on this? Because you got to see the thing really in operation.
Oh, sure. There's some great videos. Melissa Croland, who's my CMO, she ended up posting a number of them. And by the way, she's a petite woman, so she can put on these truck covers, which weighs somewhere around 50-some pounds.
Right.
And, because they roll them out to the side and you don't carry the whole weight. So if you go to www.getcoverseal.com, then that would get them to the website, and they can see the full line of covers that we've deployed.
And you have our permission to go ahead and post this video of the In Wheel Time interview.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I've been on the website, and I was rolling that through the website for the cars, the trucks. They do things for your patio furniture covers. They do things for your barbecue equipment, your smokers and things. They've got covers for that as well. Your tractor, your lawn tractor, Don, you can get a cover for that as well.
Can I come out there and sleep on the floor at your place?
I actually got a 6,000 square foot garage, so you're more than welcome.
There you go.
You're sleeping under a cover, Don.
No, that's right. Put me in one of those covers.
But we posted that, or I showed that while you were talking. So there's a lot of other things besides just the car cover that they do.
Ken, it's great talking to you. Thanks so much. It's a real pleasure, and thanks for the Cover Seal car cover.
Yeah, pleasure, gentlemen, and thank you a lot for your interest.
And stay in touch with us here.
Yeah, we want to hear about some more new stuff. Some cool new stuff.
All right, very good. Thanks again. Ken Huning, Cover Seal car covers. Hey, you and your friends can get this award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk show 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcast from your favorite podcast provider. In-Wheel Time Car Talk show will continue right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000 square foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We're nearing the end of this show for this week, but we'll be back again next week.
Okay.
Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
Well,
we got a little hurricane
there you go.
coming this way, but it's going to blow into here and blow out of here in no time.
Let's hope.
Time now for Jeff's Motor Minute.
Yeah, it was today's tire day. So we're going to talk about, and Don mentioned earlier during the segment about air loss and things and TPMS. Well, your tire actually loses air through the rubber because rubber is actually, it's like cooked spaghetti, but it's clumped together, the rubber strands, and it flexes. So there's air that gets in between those flecks of those rubber strands, and it actually depletes the
leaks down
air.
A little bit.
It leaks down a little bit, and your tire actually rolls about 800 times per mile as it goes around and around and around to get you there. But they're microscopic gaps, and it's called permeation. So the permeation of air through the rubber comes out, and you lose air. So over a period of 3 months, so you don't check them, you could lose a couple, 3 pounds of air pressure. So get your tires checked, look at them, give them a visual while you're getting gas. If you're walking through the parking lot, take a look at your tires, because I look at my tires, I look at other people's tires. So
you stop looking at my tires.
Air is 70% nitrogen, 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, 1% argon, and then there's other traces of gases like chili and onions and things. So there's other stuff like that. But it also degrades because of heat. Heat and cold will also make you lose air pressure as well. So check your tires. It's a good thing. You got hot concrete. You're going on vacation. Check your tires.
I had and it's still over there. An old analog tire pressure gauge, a round one.
Oh, yeah.
That did a wonderful job for, 20, 30 years. Well, it finally bit the dust. It wouldn't seal up against the actual valve stem anymore.
Yeah.
And it gave me false readings. So I would go online, and I'm thinking, okay, I want to get a digital gauge. I found one. What is that tire gauge company? They've been around for a bajillion years. They have really a nice one that looks kind of like a gun.
Yeah.
And you stick it on there, and it automatically knows that it's got a new reading now, and it tells you by the point pounds digitally, and it's also got a light on there. And then you take it off. That figure stays on there until you check the next one.
Yeah.
And so I go around each one, and it is spot on.
Good.
I was
Wow.
always leery about those digital gauges.
Yeah.
How do they do that? That's not right.
It operates with a little, AAA battery?
I think so, yeah.
But just, they do.
And it'll tell you when it's out.
Yeah, low battery. But get your tires checked.
Yeah, or check them yourself. Mm-hmm. A couple of stories making automotive news headlines. The financing arms of Nissan and Hyundai have judgments against a guy by the name of Antonio Pierce. He is the head coach of the Los Angeles Raiders.
What?
And the judgment is totaling nearly $28 million in connection to his partial ownership of a dealership group that collapsed in 2018. This is from Automotive News. Pierce's wife, Jocelyn Pierce, cited those liabilities in filing for bankruptcy protection in June, saying she was trying to protect her assets and those of the marital community. According to documents obtained by The Athletic, Nissan Motor Acceptance Corporation, which holds a $23 million judgment against Antonio Pierce, and Hyundai Capital America, which says it's owed $4.5 million, have attempted to garnish the former NFL linebacker's paychecks from the Raiders, according to the bankruptcy filing. Pierce, who had a 9-year playing career in the Washington Redskins and New York Giants, became the Raiders' interim coach in October when the team fired Josh McDaniels and got the job full-time in January. Terms of Pierce's contract haven't been made public, but guess what? All of your paycheck and more is fixing to go bye-bye.
Yep. What do they call it?
Customer
Garnishment.
loyalty to hybrid vehicles reached a record high in the first quarter as demand for electric vehicles continued to wane. Not that they're not selling them, they're just not selling them at the quicker pace as they thought they would. 42% of hybrid owners who returned to the market in the first quarter purchased another conventional or plug-in hybrid, according to S&P Global Mobility. It marks the 7th consecutive quarter that hybrid loyalty has increased. While hybrid consumers keep coming back, EV buyers are looking elsewhere. More than 40% of U.S. EV owners said they want to go back to internal combustion engines, gasoline-powered vehicles, according to a McKinsey study. Inadequate public charging infrastructure was a primary reason. Hello, I've been there, done that, 3.5 hours.
Yeah, you lose faith in something, it's really hard to get it back.
Yeah.
This fall, Rolls-Royce is unveiling an exclusive design studio in New York City called Private Office.
Uh-oh.
It's first in the U.S. to offer high-touch service for bougie customers who commission multi-million-dollar builds. The expansion is Rolls-Royce's effort to turbocharge its bespoke business that enables customers to transform series production models into individual statements with striking paint jobs, hand-perforated leather upholstery, olive ash burl exotic wood veneers, even an inlaid fiber optic lit headliner that bathes the interior in twinkling starlight.
I like being bathed with starlight.
Twinkling starlight.
I just like being bathed.
In the misty moonlight, you would. You're familiar with baths, aren't you,
Go
Mars?
down to the creek.
Yeah.
You just jump in the creek. The creeks are arising pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, so hurricane coming.
Well,
Go and get your supplies today or tomorrow if you want to put it off. I'm going to go this afternoon and get the fridge stocked. Hopefully the electricity will stay on.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to be that bad here, but
I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking it's going to be.
Well,
we're
once
going to
it-
get some wind and rain, and I'm sure there's going to be tree limbs down and fences down in
And
some
some
of the
electricity,
neighborhood. Yeah, that's all going to happen, but it's not going to be. Hopefully, there will be lives spared.
we're going to be back. Say goodbye to you right after this.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
Well, that's all for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Be sure and check out our website, inwheeltime.com. Follow us on Facebook. Give us a like. Tell your car friends about us and share our stuff. We'll keep you connected to all things automotive all week long. Send your vacation postcards and hate mail to us through the interweb. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. And if they're really good, we'll read them next Saturday.
Hey.
Absolutely.
When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Daily 30-minute podcasts are available from your favorite provider. We post a new episode every day. And don't forget, we live stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Time. The In Wheel Time video technical director, wise guy, and user of the Ron Popeil's GLH spray-on hair is We Need More Jeff Zekin. For booking agent, video editor, people finder, Mike Out of This World Mars, Chief Engineer David Ainsley, I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you join us next week here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, Saturday, July 13th, 8 to 11 a.m. on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you then.